Over. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final night of SimPlay Motorsport for Season 10. What a championship it has been for these pro drivers, whether you're in gold or platinum. What a season it's been for the teams of this series as well. 5 drivers can win in that platinum championship. Marinich, Schmidt, Mezin, Vitas and Rook can all take the crown tonight. In gold, it's a 3-horse race. Class, Hibbs and Harris. Harris is away on holiday though, so misses tonight. So will it be joy for him in, I believe, Greece, or will Class be able to ruin that party? And in the Teams Championship, Racing Softs, Balkan Esports and that of BAL Racing are your 3 teams competing for this championship tonight. It's been a long, hard season. 12 weeks, in all fairness, this season has been due to the 2 weeks of disruptions in the studio. But we're finally at the season end with Le Mans Ultimate on the horizon for season number 11 of the... to run alongside season number 11 of the Assetto Corsa Competizione Championship. Who will be our brand new champion? One of them 5 drivers have never won a championship here at SimPlay Motorsport. So we will be crowning a brand new champion for the Platinum category, which is obviously the overall champion as well. So we will be crowning that this evening. Who will be the person to take that championship, though? To bring you all the action tonight is Tanner Kneebone joining me in the commentary box once again. And Tanner, it's been a grueling season in which one of these 5 drivers in Platinum, one of the 3 in Gold, and one of the 3 teams can possibly come away with the joyous championship to their name at the end of it.
Yeah, especially with the two-week hiatus that we unfortunately had to do in the middle of this, actually at the beginning of the season. But yeah, this is definitely what like you like to say, the Donington decider for all these drivers. Are the calculator risk that they've been taking all season. This is where it adds up. This is where literally your week 1 decision of what car you have and how aggressive you're going to drive all adds up to basically the 2 races we have tonight, the 15-minute sprint and then our normal 1-hour feature race that we're looking forward to having tonight.
We're 5 minutes away. We are expecting 22 cars on the grid for race 2. Overtaker might miss race number 1. He's at the back of the grid. I have received a message recently that Ian McGowan as well might be touch and go for the start of race number 1. So we will be then expecting at least 20 drivers, I do believe, on the grid for the first race, as Cairns has just got himself in. But the BMWs look like they're all struggling again tonight. Mike down in 12th place, Matt Wright down in 16th, Jimenez and Cairns yet to settle lap time. Mezin, though, somehow, and you said it off air just a moment ago, you don't know where he's got that pace from, because you BMW drivers seem to really struggle last night as well around here.
Yeah, that I don't. It could just be because he has the amount of talent he has, and it's just basically he's saying no to the 31 kilograms of ballast he has in the back of the car. He's just like, he doesn't consent to it slowing him down. But it looks like the McLarens are, or just from the early onset of the practice here, is the McLarens look like they have the advantage here. Is the lowest McLaren we have is Hibbs in P8. Then we have the front row plus Vitas in 3rd. But it looks like the McLaren is the car to be in tonight.
It does indeed. So we'll see what will happen as we go across this evening and what should be a fantastic and historic night at SimPlay Motorsport, with many a driver being able to see what they can do and see what they can achieve in this one this evening. Patrick Leger running a one-off livery as well. He asked the admins to do so, and is running a one-off livery for tonight. So we'll see what happens in this race coming up in a few moments' time. And, of course, if you are the BAL racing team, you've got that chance of Harris winning gold, Ben winning platinum, and the team winning the Constructors' Championship. So it could be a great night for them two tonight if they can take all the gold.
Just imagine at the end of the night, one team has all 3 trophies.
Absolutely crazy.
Yes.
Good evening to Chris in the chat, Wainwright as well as Clawball. Gillies is in there, Neil Broom and Peaceful Stepdad as well. Wainwright saying good luck everyone, congratulations to everyone at SimPlay for another fantastic season. Can't wait to be back on the grid for LMU next season. Chris is saying nice seeing yourself, Matt and Mike at Donington last weekend at the British Touring Cars. It was great to meet you, Chris. And finally I actually get to speak to you because it was Kelly who did all the talking at Thruxton. So it was nice to meet you face to face for a change instead of talking over YouTube or over Facebook. It was really good to see. But looking at these lap times, Tanner, so far, we could be in for a really intriguing close night of racing around here because these times are super close.
Yeah, the top 10 are all within it 1 second, and I can see Komar, Maiga, I definitely think Matthews has another 4/10 in that car.
Yeah.
Matt Wright, again, he probably has another half a second in the car. I doubt that's the fastest he can go. Plus, I'm pretty sure he's carrying a little bit extra fuel right now. And I can see McKenzie 2.6 seconds off the fastest time. I don't think that's any representation on how fast that Nissan can be around here either.
And I want to mention Mike Matthews in the testing he's been doing over the weekend at Donington Park. Not only did him and his friend Chris, who came down from up north to Donington, bring a foldable sim rig with Mike's PlayStation and a monitor and Chris's Logitech G29. So yes, not the same wheel. And Mike was loading up his Donington BMW M4 setup and had a bit of a go. And then on the Sunday, went to one of the merchandise stalls where they have 2 simulators on the Fanatec setup. And you are in a McLaren 720S, the Evo, I do believe, on a default setup with the buttons not assigned. So you can't change traction control or brake bias or ABS. The traction control was on 6, ABS 6, brake bias was its default as well. Mike went and won £100 to spend at that merchandise stall for setting the fastest lap at Donington Park. So got some momentum with him, I'd say, Tanner, at the moment, because he's taken the glory on Sunday last week. Can he take some glory tonight? It'll be tough for him, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be feeling up to it and possibly getting ready to get out that BMW. Like I think many a driver throughout Pro and Pro-Am are ready to get rid of that BMW, you included.
Yeah, I took the BMW behind the shed after the race yesterday. I had to go. It's a great car. It's just it's pretty much bipolar. In terms of how it handles it, like on tracks like Imola, it's immensely strong to where we saw it was literally a BMW. It was basically a BMW constructors domination, like what we saw with Mercedes in the late 2010s.
Yeah.
And then you have it like what right now is like the late 2010s Williams around here, where it's just slow for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens tonight, though. Let's see if Matt Wright's just gone quicker than him, actually, so he's managed to find a 0.6 of a second. A lot of the front runners are sat in the pit lane. Patrick Legier's up to second, currently out on track. We know that Mike and Matt Wright are Comore still out there, Messinio's still out there, Mackenzie's out on track. Not a lot of cars out there at the moment, so we'll see who can do what come race 1 in 15 seconds time for the penultimate race of the season. And as we said, we've said it all week, as we got Michael Harris in the chat who says, wishing Ben all the best tonight. Gutted not to be there racing, but I know he's more than capable of bringing home both championships. Harris, great to see you there. Make sure you're telling everybody in the hotel to like and subscribe and tune in tonight. I'm expecting 500 viewers active on the live stream tonight, Harris. I'm sure the hotel's busy. Been 2 years since we've spoke to Chris at Thruxton. Geez, that is, time has flew, really has. And Sam Williams, good evening to Sam Williams, who says he's looking forward to this. And just got to mention Sam Williams last night. You couldn't have had any more bad luck if you'd have tried. He was so dominant last night. 2 wheel issues that cost him both race wins in what was unfortunate circumstances. Sam was fantastic. So Sam, keep your head up, buddy. I'm sure you'll be back bigger and stronger next season. Indeed. Yeah, let's see what would have happened. What will happen in this race tonight. It's going to be tough to call, isn't it? This is really going to be a tough race to commentate on and say who's going to win what.
Well, yeah, just because anything can happen. Like what you saw last night in the sprint race, where it was literally the scene out of the first Cars movie. You had it was just chaos.
Yeah.
I don't. It was chaos the first 3 laps, and then and I thought this track would be pretty hard to pass. It still is pretty hard to pass around here, but people are finding ways to get around people and just make the moves stick, which I was surprised I was able to make any type of moves, and I was surprised the amount of moves that were being attempted last night as well.
Indeed. We're just getting the poll out now for who you think will win this first race. The grid order, though, for tonight will be Cairns. Should have been alongside McGowan, but it's not. He's not here for this first one. Comor alongside Mike Mathew. Sokolov with Mackenzie. Leger will be alongside that of Patrick, of Schmidt. Mezin from Vitas. Ben Ruck just behind him. Then it's Jimenez, who should have been alongside... someone should have been alongside Maiger. They're not here either. So it's that driver... just after Jimenez and Maiger that is not here at the moment, which should have been Vasic. It is the Lexus that isn't here yet. Gillies is 13th from Matt Wright, Messinio, Cardno, Ramsel, Hibbs, and then Class at the back of the field for this first race. Let's see what happens in this one. If you are selecting that other comment in the chat, please do type in the chat who you think for race one. Steve Gillis is going Leger. We've had 3 votes. 2 have got 5 now. 3 have gone the way, I believe, of other. So if you have picked other, please let us know in the chat who you have selected. 1 for Cairns, 1 for Mike Matthews as well. So we'll see what can happen. But Tanner, who's winning this first race in your opinion?
I hate to. It's the same as. It's pretty much the opposite of what I said at Imola. I'm gonna count out any of the BMWs.
Yeah.
Unless Mizzen, because Mizzen again doesn't consent to the ballast. But I can see Komar getting off to a decent lead right off the bat, being able to make the move turn 1 and run away. But I'm going to run it with the one-off livery, since the one-off livery worked with me, with Patrick Leger here for the sprint win, coming from P6.
And there he is, Patrick Leger running that one-off livery. So yeah, let's see what he can do in that Cloud9 car. Like we said, no Vasic, no McGowan, no Overtaker at the moment, so it's a shame that we're a couple of drivers down. Overtaker did say he would miss race 1, so he should be in for race number 2. But yeah, what a season we've got coming up. And if you missed last night, the announcement, and in fact last night and Tuesday night, if you missed the announcement of both the Le Mans Ultimate calendar for next season, and if you missed the calendar draw for the Pro and Pro-Am Championships for next season, don't worry, in qualifying 2 we will cover both of them. Holiday's going well, thanks, mate. I know Bloody Matt and his dodgy electrics, as Chris had said, that maybe it would have been done if there wasn't electrical problems. And that's very true, because we would have actually been in our off-season. We'd have been in the second week of the off-season had we not had them electrical issues. So, yeah, the season would have been wrapped up 2 weeks ago. But here we are, back end of April, to end this season. Yeah, I'm looking at Sokolov. I think Sokolov could possibly win this first race. But I agree, Como, if he can get in that lead early over Cairns, could be the man to maybe take that race win. We'll see what happens here, though. 19 cars rounding Donington Park for the for the final sprint race of the season, because things are changing next season, even in the Pro and Pro-Am Championships. We'll get into that when we show you the calendar later on. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified, as well as go down to the description and please check out our fantastic sponsors. Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing and much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise. And if you saw any of the t-shirts that me and Mike was wearing at the weekend, beautiful nice polo shirt with the SimPlay logo on as well. It was great to see. As well as check out our fantastic partner for this season, Big Apple Logistics, who specialise in moving plants and heavy machinery worldwide. So keep your eyes peeled on them. Go over to their Facebook pages and check them out. It's been a fantastic season and it's coming towards its climax here. Cairns on pole from Comar, though, who lines up right alongside him as we enter to Goddard's for that first time. And the expectation of championships, the tensions will be high tonight. Let's put it that way. Tensions will be high. I had a chat with Ben Ruck before we went on air, and You know, he's got it in his control. The difference with Harris is Harris isn't here to have it in his control, so we'll see what Class can do. But for the penultimate time tonight and of this season, it's green and go, and it's a pretty even start from the front two. Cairns maybe just edging away a little bit down in towards turn one. Sokolov looking around the outside of Mike Matthews as well. Patrick Leger going 3 wide. That's Mezin who's got into the gravel. Patrick Leger off as well. Ben Ruck gets through, so does Vitas. Vitas is looking to try and make a move on Schmidt as side by side goes the Nissan of McKenzie down with Sokolov through the crane of curves. McKenzie is through. Mike held on to P3 and Mike Matthews already on the attack, looking onto the back of Como as they come up towards the Schwantz curve and in towards McLean's for the first time. Great getaway from everybody, and Mike Matthews just has a little wiggle there mid-corner. Side by side is the Honda of Gillies with that of Jimenez himself, who has just dropped down the order a little bit. Now the Ford Mustang of Maiger has climbed up there as well. Mezin's down to 15th at the moment. He's had a nightmare start.
Yeah, McKenzie just went wide through the right-hander there, and another driver that had a terrible start is Patrick Leger in the one-off liver. Of course, when I choose him, he has a shocking start as he's going for a move on McKenzie now. 3 wide going down to the hairpin.
Yeah, indeed it is. Down towards the Melbourne hairpin. That's Maiger in the middle, and they still stay 3 wide. You can stick around the outside of the Melbourne hairpin as Richie Michel taps into the rear of Matt Wright, dropping him down a few places. But Patrick Leger did get 2 spots there. McKenzie has a look back in towards Goddard's now. Nothing can be done about it. What's happening with Hibbs and Cardno in the middle of that. Hibbs is slim for this title, so it's kind of gloves off with Greasy Bandits not able to win this Constructors' Championship. They can go racing here, but Hibbs needs a big result to stay involved in this championship fight. Cairns leads from Mike Matthews, Sokolov third, Comore pitted, Leger stayed out, McKenzie stayed out, so did Maiger and Messinio. Cardno out, Hibbs is out, Wright and Michelle both stayed out as well, so half the field pretty much into the pit lane on lap 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised with Cairns and Matthews here staying strong in the BMWs. And so I'm surprised Sokolov stayed behind these two guys in box early. I can see Patrick Leger catching up to the top 3 here, and again, since it's such a short race, it's gonna be interesting to see when everybody wants to hit in the box and try to get some clean air.
Well, at the moment, Patrick Leger's still got to deal with Adam McKenzie and Maiger and Messinio on the back of him. He had the pace in the practice session, but down in towards the Fogarty S as they go for the second time. Leger just gets a little poor run compared to McKenzie there. It was Maiger who got the best run out of the 3 of them, as that tyre wall that is on the apex of the first chicane comes bouncing back onto the circuit in the background behind Matt Wright there. And in fact, it's laid on the track, but on the outside where no one really goes. McKenzie, though, still putting that pressure on Patrick Leger. Are any of the top 3 into the pits? No, they're not. In fact, yes, Sokolov is in, and Patrick Leger is also going to bail into the pit lane. So does Cardno. He comes in as well. And what about Richie Michel? Or is he just trying to go side by side with Matt Wright? No, he was trying to go side by side. Vitas is trying to attack Schmidt. Ben Ruck behind him, little bit of a gap between them. Then we got Jimenez with Mezin right behind him here, trying to do all he can at the moment to stay in front of that silver and black BMW M4 in the brightly lime green and purple bearded racing M4. As here comes Mezin. Is he going to look into the Melbourne hairpin? No, he does not. Sits nice and patiently behind and now gets a better exit underneath, but that's still going to give Jimenez the inside for Redgate here. And Jimenez chops the nose off there. Going to come defensively. No, he's not, because Mezin sticks a nose in. So maybe Jimenez should have held his line where he was, because Mezin makes the move. Jimenez thinks about coming back at him. Can't do so. Class is a little further back at the moment. Sokolov has come out into the path of Schmidt. And he's gone very wide at turn 1. Oh, and he's tapped Schmidt. Schmidt's gone off with him. And Schmidt's in Vitas. And through goes Ben Ruck on Vitas. And it's at the championship potentially decided there.
Oh, that was a road. I forgot the guy's name, but the road goes. It was just a bad bad series of events. There we go. There's the words I was looking for. Series of events there for. Oh, goodness gracious.
It's going to be a long night, that's for sure. And there's going to be a long night of racing. Hibbs into the pits. Ben Ruck now 2 tenths off the back of Schmidt. He didn't get ahead of Schmidt. And Mezin's now not far off the back of Sokolov and Ben Ruck. And Mezin needs to finish ahead of Ben Ruck to really keep himself in contention. He's not a million miles behind, is Mezin. but he still needs to outscore Ben by a good amount. But that for Vitas puts him to the back of the pack and potentially with some damage on the car as well. So, you hate to see a championship fight possibly end in that way, but I'm sure Vitas is going to try and come back strong with just under 10 minutes remaining. Mackenzie and Maiger still going at it. Mike Matthews, well, that £100 for setting the fastest lap on Sunday's done him some good because he's got the fastest lap of the race at the moment and he's within 0.6 of Keynes. So Mike's on a charge at the minute. Further down, though, Schmidt with Ben. That is Hibbs coming out the pit lane. Where is Hibbs going to appear? Drivers have to be careful on pit exit. Hibbs has the right of way to rejoin the track. And Hibbs gets the jump over Cardno and Class. Quite a comfortable jump as well here. He's put a couple of cars between them. And they're fighting for this championship, don't forget. Vitas, he's got to try and get past the whole entire pack right now. Ben Ruck within half a second of Schmidt. Mackenzie within half a second of Maiger. And Mike Matthews just chips that gap down a little bit more to Keynes here. And you get the feeling Mike's looking racy tonight.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to be this 9-year-old for the fastest lap either. So, sorry, I had to. It's probably only one of the 4 times I'm going to mention it tonight.
I don't blame you for saying it. I'd have done the same thing.
Well, I'm pretty sure you were too. I don't know, but yeah, no, I'm surprised Mike Matthews is staying behind too. Including the dirty air, and with him having the fastest lap, I'm surprised he doesn't want to try to get any type of clean air and not risk Komar or Smits undercutting them.
Well, Hibbs is having a look on the back of Jimenez here with Gillies, with Cardno, with Class. Vitas has dropped off the back a little bit more, saw him off through the chicane, so he's fell back a little bit further. Jimenez trying to keep Hibbs at bay for the time being, and trying to do a good job of it as well is Jimenez. At the moment, Ben getting closer to Schmidt. Schmidt now has the fastest lap of the race. Mike still seems pretty close to Keynes at this current moment in time. Mackenzie's lost out to Messino somewhere, and he's on the back of him now. So the Nissan, because we've got an American in the chat, in the comms box, he's looking to make another route move. Matt Wright, not a million miles behind these, running in 6th place, trying to go longer in his stint so far. And Ruck and Schmidt going at it. Schmidt's in this title fight as well, so he'll be looking to try and claw some points back on Ben Ruck. He needs a few more cars between himself and Ben, though. Doesn't get the run through McLean's he'd have wanted. Ben coming into Coppish, just breaks a little earlier, allowing Schmidt to just have that corner and not trying to push anything too hard. Keynes into the pits. Mike Matthews leads as we hit the halfway stage of it. Maiger second. Messino third from Mackenzie. Matt Wright fourth. Matt Wright will be fifth. Richie Michelle will be up to 6th place. The sunrise is beautiful at Donington. Indeed it is, Chris. You should see it from the tent on a brisk, frosty morning like we did on Sunday morning. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look over seeing Donington Park. It really is a thing to behold. So Keynes exiting the pits should be in the lead of this race because Comore's only coming through the final corner. Yeah. So that should keep Mike within the top 2 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm surprised with the gap he had, but I guess the benefit of not fighting anybody and just leading with clean air. Because what was it, Solokov?
Yeah, Sokolov.
That was right behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the benefit of clean air, the only downside to him right now is he's going to have slightly cold tires. They won't be like having brand new tires. They're going to have some temperature in them, but they're still going to take about a half a lap to a full lap to get them back to being able to push on them fully.
Cardno has lost a place to Class in this race. The Class moves up one more spot at the moment. And we'll keep keeping our eyes on that Gold Championship fight with Harris not here. Crucial for Class to score some good points at the moment. Maybe next year, I think is what Chris was saying there. He's removed the message. I'm sure he's going to retap that out as Ben Ruck still close to the back of Schmidt. Championships possibly will be decided by the end of the night. Could any be decided by race 1? We'll wait and see. But Ruck's doing everything he needs to at the moment. He's ahead of Mesin and he's ahead of Vitas, who is his 2 closest rivals.
Yeah, Michelle's called it quits, but said it's enough. It's now time to get his pit stop in, and actually, it's gonna be interesting to see where he comes out in here because he was catching up to Matt Wright, so
yeah,
interesting to see how far back he is going to be.
Indeed it is. And yeah, definitely next year, Chris, we'll top and tail for sure. We'll have a nice spoon in the tent as Comore's gaining on the back of Ken. So it'll be interesting to see where Mike Matthews comes out. Through goes Ruck and Schmidt. Michelle still not dropped yet. So where's Jimenez? I think he's going to be on the back of this train, as Class is gaining onto the back of Gillies at this moment. And I think, yeah, in fact, he's not even going to be on the back of this pack because through goes Class and through goes Vitas and Richie Michelle only now on the move. So Richie Michelle tumbles to the back of the field here. That seemed a long pit stop for Richie Michelle, that did. So down the order he goes. Mackenzie still on the back of Messinio, though. This is for third place at the moment. Obviously, not a net third in terms of the pit stop so far. Schmidt and Ben Ruck still going at it. Mezin on the back of Sokolov. Needs to clear him. Needs to get onto the back of Ben Ruck and just maybe get past him to pick up a few more points. Class still hounding the back of Gillies in this one as well. Can he find a way through? The problem for Class tonight, Tanner, is he's got to be aggressive to score good points, but he doesn't want to get involved in incidences and maybe take himself out and tumble down the order.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. If you be patient, if you be patient and take the safe option, you're letting as you go steep. Come on, I was just saying stay safe. If you do it safe and you let everybody else take the risk. If everybody else takes the risk and it pays off, it hurts you the most.
Yeah.
But if you're aggressive and you go for all the moves and it doesn't pay off, you're helping everybody else. So you're constantly balancing the literally to be aggressive or to stay cautious. Right now, I think with the sprint race, with the sprint race, you can be a bit more cautious just because everybody's gonna be pushing and you can kind of feel everybody else out. But in the feature race, you cannot let you have to keep your position just because if you stick behind somebody for 5 laps in the feature race, it's almost about 2 seconds you're going to lose to anybody that's either on your pace or quicker that you need to stay behind.
Indeed, Mezin's just got the move done on Sokolovs. That puts him up to P number 9 now, and he's only 1.6 seconds off the back of Ben Ruck. Can he gain in time? Leger's got the fastest lap of the race. Hibbs having a look on Jimenez in towards Coppice corner. Blind entry apex. Hibbs up that inside of Jimenez, and that could help him in this championship. He puts another car between himself and Class, as well as Harris not being here. That'll really help him close up. Matt Wright dropped down behind Cardno and Class as well due to the pit stops. So we'll see if Wright can gain anything, but a lovely gold fight happening here as Mike Matthews enters into the pit lane. Where is Cairns? Mike yet to go green. Cairns is coming through. He's messed up. Car wouldn't turn off as Mike just thrown away a podium. Then he's just put it in the chat. So is he going to now have lost out on a podium? Here comes Schmidt and Ben Ruck in the background. He's dropped his away. Here is Schmidt and Ben Ruck. And Mike drops down to 5th place. What a shame for him. Patrick Leger's on the attack of Sokolov as Mezin's already given a flash of the lights to Mike Matthews to get out the way, basically. But Ruck gains a couple more points there. Leger past Sokolov. They just touch a little bit at the top of the Craner curves. And they all stay as they was. Can now Mike get onto the rear of that of Schmidt and Ruck with them two fighting? Will Mezin be charging through? Maiga leads from Messino from Mackenzie. They've got to pit this lap. You cross the start line in the pit, so they're not going to have to... In fact, no, actually, they could pit next time around. Well, Maiga's going to box now. Messinio, he looks like he's going to box now as well. And the number 9, Leger. We said him and Sokolov was being involved in a couple of incidents. Well, there we go. Leger is off of the track. Class has also had a mistake. He's dropped behind Cardno and I believe Matt Wright. Yes, he has. Did he get ahead of Patrick Leger, though? No, he did not. So what has happened to Class? Because he is now down in that 17th spot. Richie Michelle being dead last, I do believe. Indeed, he is. But in fact, no, he's got Gillies with him. So what's happened to Gillies as well? So something's happened. Drama already on this race.
Yeah, I was watching that Mike Matthews in the pits. It looked like he went a little bit too deep in his pit box and had to reverse into it. That may have caused his engine not to turn off, and him having that long pit stop costing him not a crucial podium, but a podium in the sprint race.
Well, Cairns now leads from Comore, from Schmidt. Ben Ruck up into 4th. Mike Matthews is 5th with Mezin and what looks to be Maiga all over the back of him. So Maiga's down in 10th, in 9th place, I do believe. We'll see as the timing towers update in a moment. Sorry, he's in 7th place. We just wait for the other cars to come through the sectors. I do believe it is Messinio. Samiga leads in gold. Hibbs is up to 9th. Cordno is up to 11th place. And where is Class? He's in 13th, trying to fight that of Sokolov at the moment. Mackenzie's all over the back of him. Mackenzie looks to get the run on Class, coming through the little kink up towards the Schwantz curve. Nissan's got the inside line for McLean's corner on that right-hander. And Class drops down. Yet another position. He does not want to be losing too many because he's still got to try and score good to get ahead of Michael Harris in this championship. But as we come to the end of this first race, Cairns is hanging on in there. Mezin, drive-through penalty for track limits. That could help out a few of the drivers on the track. Cairns is defensive like mad. Coming into the final couple of corners now. Through Goddard's. Nice and steady goes Cairns. Gets the exit he needs. And it's going to be Cairns to take the race win here. He wins from Comore. Schmidt will take a P3 with Ben Ruck in P4. What a result for Ben Ruck in this one. Mike Matthews a solid P5 with Mez in 6th, but the drive-through penalty has given him 30 seconds, so we'll see where that drops him. Maiga wins in gold from Messinio. Hibbs on the podium as well. Jimenez from Cardno. Matt Wright. Patrick Leger, fastest lap in 13th place, but that might be a promotion for him. Sokolov, Mackenzie, Class down in 16th from Vitas. Richie, Michelle and Gillies down the back of the field. But Mez in their final lap. Drive-through penalty for track limits. Donington Park will bite you if you are a little too greedy. Chicane especially.
Yeah, I was watching, or I was looking back at Gillis trying to figure out what happened. It was just it's the Honda moment. It just it just decided it wanted to oversteer overly no matter what he did to it. I think it was more of a car issue than a skill issue, but still, the Honda decided it was time to spin out.
Well, Class scores 38 crucial points in that one, so we'll see what that does. Hibbs is out of the championship running though with that 8th place. He just needed to be a couple of places higher to stay in it. So Hibbs is out of that championship running, so now he can be that rear gunner for his teammates if he needs to be. But what a shame for him. Matt Wright was down in P11. Good result there. Gillies down in 19th. Manavola's not here. Maiga, gold race winner, P6. No Vasic, no Varga, no Decourt. Jimenez was... It was P9. Good result for Jimenez there, so P9. Right, we will take a very quick break and we will be back with race 2 in just a few moments. Welcome back, then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport and how the championships have now changed. It is a three-way fight between Ben Ruck, Schmidt and Vitas. Mezin and Marinic now no longer in contention for that championship here today. And it is between Harris and Class in that gold championship as well. So still a lot to play for, and Class needs a good result in this second race to take that championship crown. But I can provisionally confirm until the tables have been sorted and tickets have been done, or until it's posted on the Discord, I suppose, BAL Racing are your Constructors' Champions for season number 10. Michael Harris and Ben Ruck are your Constructors' Champions here at SimPlay Motorsport Season 11. Oh, Gillies has just gone straight on there. Let's go on to Class. So Ben Ruck and Michael Harris are your Constructors' Champions for the final time this season. That is provisional result, so we'll have to wait for the tickets to come in and see if anything changes. But as it stands, Ben Ruck and Harris are your champions. Had some huge issues with the brakes in that one, says Mackenzie in the first race. Something defo wrong on the setup. A brake pedal has just come off on Gillies' rig. BBM Williams, great to see you in, buddy. Hopefully you enjoy the finale. And Harris can, Chris, yes, win the gold championship. So it is all still up for grabs in gold. And this man Class really needs a good performance now in this second race after he just didn't seem to have anything in that first race, Tanner.
Yeah, I was surprised with how little progress that he was able to make. I know this probably because this group of racers are a lot closer in terms of pace, and their racecraft is gonna be a bit better, and they know how to defend around here, and you can and extend that gap as Klaus just does a 26.6 right off the bat and make me feel bad about my pace around here. And Myga goes about 2.5 tenths slower.
We have as well got McGowan, Overtaker and Vasic in for race 2. So great to see some more drivers on the grid here. Who do you think's taking pole in this gold category? Because based off that practice lap times, Class and Cardno both have got a lot of pace around here at the moment.
Oh yeah, and has Cardno came around yet? No, Cardno's about. Oh, Cardno didn't set invalidated his first time, so he's now on his second lap. Hopefully he can get one in here so he can push Foley for the last 2 laps that he's going to have with this gold qualifying ending in 6 minutes and 10 seconds.
Well, the final qualifying of the season. Let's see what happens here. Is where Mackenzie's saying, I think Sleepy Lizard Repsol Racing needs a rebrand next year. And he then says, think Hardware Issues Racing would be more fitting. The way the season has gone for you both, yeah, I probably have to agree with you there in that one. And we'll see what happens in this second race.
Yeah, Sleepy Lizards, I think, needs to do an exorcist on their team. Just to get all the gremlins out of their racing rigs and their internet, and hopefully come back next year with far less issues in terms of hardware.
Well, Tuesday night, Mackenzie put in the Who Darren Cup event page that his wheel was off. His wheel was apart. He'd unscrewed it. He was trying to put it all back together in time for race 1. He got it done, but yeah, it wasn't good for him as Jimenez crosses the line, stays where he is in P6. Does improve though, 1.4 off of Class's time. Here comes Messinio, stays P5. Cardno will be the man to watch. What can he do? Goes second place, but 6 tenths off the back of Class. Hibbs now towards the line. What will Hibbs do? Stays P3. Matt Wright is coming to the line. Can he put a good lap time on the board? Stays P5 goes P5 at the moment. And 1.1 off the back of Class. Here comes Vasic before Richie Michel will get to the line as well. Vasic stays in 9th, and Richie Michel there all the way up to P3. So Class at the moment has got a good lap time on that board, and he could be getting that extra point here for this pole position.
Yeah, and I think Cardno here is, I'm guessing, a lap behind in terms of ramping up the lap time, because I do think if not pole, he's going to be near the front in the front 2, maybe 3 rows of this race. So I don't think 6 tenths off a Class is going to stand for long.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see.
Jimenez is in the pits already.
Jimenez, yeah, he's probably bailed on qualifying. Gillies has invalidated his lap time as well. So let's see what happens here. I wonder if Harris is still in the chat. Harris, if you're still there, drop us a comment. Let us know if you're there, as Class actually improves on his lap time once again and goes 0.8 now quicker than Cardno. So just ramps it up a little bit more at the moment here. 6 a.m. in the morning at Donington Park. Cardno's coming around, though, to do another lap time. A little wide at the exit of the final corner there for Cardno. Cuts that time in half, but it could have been a little less had he not made that mistake. What can Hibbs do now? Down in P4. He goes back up into third place. Matt Wright, 1.3 off the pole. Can he find any improvement? No, he cannot. Stays where he is. The 9.33 of Richie Michel has got ahead of Vasic in this qualifying run. And can he improve on his lap time? 0.8 off the pole. Nothing for him. Vasic stays down in 9th. Gillies is on an invalid lap. Or, no, he's not. Goes up into P8. As Jimenez, I think, has bailed and done for qualifying. So, wait, see what Class can do. But Class managed to find extra time in that last run. Can he do it again?
As soon as you said that, he invalidates through the chicane.
Ah, there we go. So that puts him on the back foot, and that gives, you know, the edge, I suppose, to Cardno on this run. As good evening to Paul Williams. I'm still here. Class has got me worrying with these times at the moment, and I will try my best to work out who needs to do what in this race throughout this broadcast tonight. But we will see what happens, Tanner. Is Miga coming towards the final corner now? Mustang's not looked overly strong here as well, like the BMW.
Both Mustangs of Messino and Miga made excellent progress through the.
They did actually, yes. No,
the sprint race. Yeah, yeah. I was about to say they made excellent progress. Even though I'm pretty sure most of it was just them avoiding incidents, but they probably weren't passing people in the traditional way.
Yeah.
But the car looked good. It looked, and as Hibbs goes P2.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it on the stream, but I definitely said it beforehand that I'm pretty sure it's going to be a McLaren-dominated qualifying here and feature race.
Well, that has put Hibbs right in between to be sort of Class's rear gunner at the moment. So Hibbs is sat in a wonderful position. Can Class this time get the chicane better? Or did he just invalidate again there? No, he's still on a valid lap time. So we say evening to Jimenez. Not even going to waste my time with another lap, he says there. And Class might get one more run here. Should get one more run pretty comfortably, to be fair. Miga's invalidated this one. Cardno needs to pull something out the bag. So it's not Cardno even in for this championship, is it? It's Harris who's in this championship run. I keep looking at Cardno thinking Cardno's in the championship fight, but he's not. It is between Class and Harris. So Harris will be wanting anybody else to take pole, and Class finds a couple more attempts here. That's an impressive lap time from him.
Yeah, next person that can challenge him is Cardno coming around the last corner, getting a bit of a slipstream from the Mustang in front of him, but I don't think it'll be enough to gain up 6/10. Please, he barely improves
a bit. Yeah, goes back ahead of Hibbs. Hibbs is about to finish another lap. Massinio went up to P5 there as well as Hibbs. Across the line, no improvement for Hibbs that time round. What about Matt Wright? 1.5 off the back of Class. To the line he comes. Stays 1.5 off the back of Class. Richie Michel now coming to finish his lap. We've got 34 seconds. Oh my God, this guy needs to chill, says Harris in the chat. Richie Michel stays P4. Gillies now on a lap. Ben Rooks eager to get on with qualifying. He's waiting. We can see his car look waiting at the bottom of the pit lane, ready to go. And Class is about to finish his final lap in qualifying here then. And for Ben Rook, he might not be able to have as quick an outlap as he wants. Gillies is coming down the crane of curves now. Miga's done. Massinio's done. Vasic is done. And here comes Class towards the final corner as the Platinum drivers now leave the pit lane. So actually Gillies has got further away from Ben. So Ben can absolutely go hammer to the floor as here comes Class. Does he improve by anything? No improvement there. What has Cardno got in the locker? They was pretty close in practice. Has Cardno got enough to take the final pole position of the season? We then turn our attention to Matt Wright because Hibbs has done. We've still got a few cars on track as some of the Platinums are leaving the pit lane now. Here comes Class to the line. Does he improve? No, he does not. Stays second place. So this could be point to Class at the moment.
So last person in gold to be on a valid lap right now is Matt Wright. I don't think he's going to be able to improve. Please prove me wrong. He does improve by 3 times, but doesn't move a position. Thank you, Matt Wright, for proving me wrong. I felt bad for saying the first part of that.
So Class takes the point for pole position. It's another pole position to his name. And now, for Harris, he's just got to wait for this to be done at the moment.
Yeah, that has to be the worst seat to be in. It's just waiting. Yeah. No control, you have no inputs. You're basically praying to the racing gods to help you here as Ben Rook goes as wide as he can to make the run down the start finish straight as straight as possible. And the platinum qualifying has started.
Yeah, I don't mind that tactic from Ben Rook there, just try and get as much power down the straight. Patrick Leger's in the pits still. Now, he was fastest lap in race. Oh, big snap for Ben there out of Redgate in towards Hollywood. There you go. Let's go on board with Ben for this lap. Down the Craner curves. Into the old hairpin now. Picks up his braking zone. Down a couple of gears. Third gear. As much curb on the inside. A little bit too wide on the outside of the Craner curves. Over the little kink. And up through the Schwantz curve. There you go. Now in towards McLean's for Ben Rook. Nicely done through there. Again, you've got to be careful on the exit of McLean's. Easy to just drop a couple of wheels over there and the car just spit you out. Through Coppice, double right-hander. You can't really have to wait for that power to come down before full throttle as a plane comes into land at East Midlands Airport. Just over out of Ben's windscreen there, we saw it. Down to the Fogarty S as he goes. How greedy is he on the first curb? Nice through the second. We won't know if he's invalidated until the line because everybody stays light blue on their first flying laps. Leger, oh no, I tell you why Leger's in the pits. He's got a qualifying ban. So that makes much more sense as to why Patrick's still in the pit lane. Good through the Melbourne hairpin there for Ben Rook. And now towards the final corner, he comes once again. As Gillies was up 6/10 but invalidated, he's just said. Through Goddard's now for Ben Rook. What lap time is this going to be? For the Constructors' Champion, only fourth fastest at the moment. Is that Comore behind? No, it was Schmidt who doesn't set a lap time. Mike Matthews, what does he go and do? He moves up the order. We'll stay on board with Vitas for the time being. One of the championship rivals of Ben Rook with Schmidt as well in this race. There's Overtaker in the background. Vitas up to 7th. Overtaker up to 14th. Who's the next car to line? It's the 101 of Sokolov. He comes to the line. No lap time set for him there. Here's Mezin now. The 229's just had a moment. That was Keynes. So we'll go and check McGowan as Mezin up to P11. McGowan to the line, P16. Keynes to the line, doesn't set a lap time there. We know he's just had a moment. Mackenzie next to that line then. And we'll go back to Ben Rook just after. Ben Rook leading the Platinum qualifying though at the moment after the first runs.
Yeah, as if the gold qualifying was anything to go off about, we're going to see them probably gain 7/10 from the first runs or in the first lap times, taking that little extra risk, especially through the chicane, carrying that much more a bunch of speed. Because I found about half a second a time just by taking the chicane, absurd line through chicane, carrying as much speed as possible.
Indeed, and Chris saying, just want to say that Matt, you've done an outstanding job this season. Great commentary as always, and all the work behind the scenes with all the SimPlay admin. And nice to have Tanner and Jamal Clouden in joining as well. Indeed, it has been as Ben goes up to 5th. Schmidt now up into P4. Here comes Mike Matthews, who goes up into 9th. Comore stays in P6. What can Vitas do in his latest run? Up into P5 ahead of Ben Rook. Here comes Overtaker towards the line. What has he got in the locker? Stays P17 at the moment. We're going to turn our attention to Keynes, next man on a valid lap, and see what Keynes can do. But all of a sudden here, Vitas and Schmidt just getting ahead of Ben Rook just really starts to put that pressure on Ben a little bit. Or does it? Because he's right behind them.
I feel like there's a lot less pressure with him being behind. But that's just me personally. I like, if I'm following somebody, I'm a little bit quicker than when I'm leading somebody.
Yeah.
And plus, and with them in front of you, you don't need to worry about overtaking them or trying to decide if you should let them through and let them. It's just less decisions you have to make if you're behind your championship rivals and you're ahead or you're ahead in points. Yeah, a lot less decisions you have to make, and the more you can focus on just trying to finish the 60 minutes of racing.
Oh, Schmidt has bailed on this lap. He's got a yellow flag midway down the hairpin. Here comes Ben Rook to the line. Next will be Mike Matthews. So Ben Rook currently in 6th. The top 3 drivers still the gold drivers at the moment. And what does Ben Rook do? Goes up into second place. So he's now your platinum pole. And that could be an extra point that is vital for Ben Rook. Here comes Mike Matthews down in ninth. Going strong at the moment is Mike. No improvement there, though. The 77 have overtaken next to the line. Only Sokolov without a lap time at the moment. Schmidt just trying to stay out of driver's ways before he can get a lap back in. 64 McGowan has overtaken, now moves up into ninth place. Sokolov, is he going to come to the line and set a lap time? No, he is not. So still invalid at the moment as Schmidt still staying out the way. Here comes Ian McGowan, rounds the final corner. And what does McGowan have in that locker? As all Cairns all out of shape at the final corner. McGowan moved up to 15th. Cairns doesn't set a personal best, and we turn our attention to Ben Rook on a flying lap again. So see what Ben Rook can do. And by the way, with Cairns' race 1 win and his wins and poles on Tuesday night, he is now the joint most successful driver with Dan Davis around Donington Park. 2 pole positions and 3 wins. He's tied with Dan Davis. If Mezin was to win this second race, that would also put him tied with them two as well. So great effort from Cairns there.
And to not be not surprising, but just because it's just a trend. All the BMWs are outside, barring Mike Matthews, are all outside the top 10 right now. Yeah. Unlike with Imola 2 weeks before, where it was just the car to be in. Now it's the car that's bane of everybody's existence.
Well, the front engine car is now P9 with Mike Matthews, and then look at all the Fords as well as the Nissan down the order and the Lexus as Vitas goes up into second place. Ben did improve on his last run, by the way. Has cut the gap down to 2 and a bit tenths. Sokolov was a little wide through there. Overtakers off the track at the moment, letting Mezin go. So is he going to floor it out there as Sokolov moves up to 16th place? Next car on a valid lap is Cairns. So we'll see what Cairns can do. And then it will be Schmidt to come to the line. But Class still your overall pole sitter at this moment in time. Cairns moves up to 9th. What can Schmidt do? 6 tenths off the pole. Has he found 6 tenths here? No, doesn't improve this time around. We turn our attention to Mackenzie down in 18th place. But yeah, the front engine cars are all outside the top 9.
Top 8. Yeah, all out of the top 8.
Yeah.
Top 8 are all mid-engine cars. And I'm pretty sure if Patrick Leger was able to qualify today, he would also be in the top.
Yeah.
He would be the top 9.
Never mind.
Mackenzie
changes that. Mackenzie changes that. He goes and puts his Nissan up into 7th place. Comore to the line, but it was invalid. Ben's invalid as well now, so Ben's going to have one more lap to find 2.5 tenths. It's not going to matter, though, outright, because he's still going to have that platinum pole position to his name at the moment. Next car on a valid lap is Vitas, who is very deep at that final chicane. And he's clearly trying to just power out of the... final corner. He's clearly trying to just power out of it to go for one more run. Here is Vitas. Sokolov to try and put the mid-engine car further up the order. The only mid-engine car outside of that top 10 is Gillies at the moment. And here comes Sokolov. No improvement there. What about Mezin, who's down in at 14th? Goes up to 2nd within a 10th now. So good lap from Mezin.
There it is.
Here comes Cairns. McGowan. He stays 16th. Here comes Schmidt. All will get one last run in. Even Overtaker will get another lap in. The 111 of Comore might be a push. Schmidt's now gone 2nd place within 600ths of a second. So they've all started to come to play now. Good evening to Swindlemac in the chat. Hope you're well, buddy, as Overtaker stays P13. And we turn our attention to Comore. Will he just be able to sneak one more lap in? This might be it for Ben Rook. I don't think he's going to get one more. He's only at the Melbourne hairpin. Here comes Schmidt now. Yeah, he's going to cross the line plenty of time. And moves up to P6 as well. Ben Rook then, what do you have in the tank? Have you got enough to take that extra point? Or is it going the way of Schmidt? Here comes Ben Rook. Goes within 18 thousandths of a second of Class to take provisional pole. Schmidt's off. So Schmidt's qualifying is done. He's in the pit lane. Can Vitas find 4 tenths of a second now?
Didn't stay as tight into the last corner as I think you need to be. And does find time, but not enough.
Doesn't find enough. Ben Rook may have just got that extra point. Class looks like he's going to be the outright pole sitter here. What a job from Class then. Here comes Sokolov up into 12th. And now Overtaker. Next man on a valid lap. What can he do in this race? or in this qualifying session, but Ben Rook right at the death, nearly the outright pole. Has Overtaker got 1 second in the tank to take it? He's had a few poles at Donington before, I do believe. In fact, no, call me a liar. He's actually not on the most... Oh, no, he is. He's had 1 pole position. Never won at Donington Park. To the line he comes, and it will only be 14th place. So Class gets the outright pole position. What a job from him.
Yeah, Mizzen definitely took his sweet time finding the time. I think he would have gotten... I think Mizzen would be in the shout for a platinum pole if he was able to set that time earlier and was able to push that a little bit more.
Very tight though, isn't it? 0.6 covers the top 9. A second covers the top 14. So very, very tight. Your grid order then for the final time this season will look a little like this. Class from Rook, gold and platinum leaders on the grid. Schmidt alongside Mezin, Vitas from Comor, Cardno from Hibbs, Mackenzie from Michelle, Cairns from Sokolov, Matthews and Overtaker. Long-term rivals, Messino and Maiger from McGowan and Matt Wright, Gillies from Jimenez, Vasic from Patrick Leger at the back. And while we have the outlap and the formation lap to go, let us show you what is coming up. The Le Mans Ultimate Championship will be coming to SimPlay Motorsport, and as you can see from this calendar, it is this will be the calendar now. Circuit de la Sarthe Le Mans for week number 1. Dates are yet to be confirmed at the moment, so please bear with us on that, as well as if we are going to run morning, evening, night races on LMU. Bahrain is round 2 from Monza, round 3. Spa-Francorchamps is round 4 from Sebring, Fuji, and then Portimao. Algarve is round number 7. They are all the base tracks on the Le Mans Ultimate game, so you don't need to buy any DLCs unless you want some of the cars for that one. And if you're wondering what is to come for Pro and Pro-Am next season, well, we are sticking to ACC on consoles, and for Pro and Pro-Am, the Gold, Silver, Bronze and Platinum Championships, that is your calendar. Still the dates a bit to be confirmed, but Bathurst kicks off the season with a 90-minute race. Valencia will be a morning race. That'll be the normal sprint and feature race format, with Spa-Francorchamps, the 90-minute race for week 3, with an evening race at Silverstone for 90 minutes as well. Monza will be our normal format of the sprint and feature, followed by Alton Park week 6 as the normal format. Week 7 will be the Nürburgring, a 90-minute race, with Suzuka, a night race for 90 minutes for week number 8. The penultimate round of the season will be Zolder for the normal sprint and feature race format, before ending at our home of Donington Park for that 90-minute race once again. And I must say, Tanner, both calendars look incredible.
Only downside to the Pro and Pro-Am calendar is it's not that American, but hey, I have no say in it. Even though the American tracks were brutal to the Americans racing in the...
No American circuit on the calendar, but we did have 3 this year, so
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I know, but all 3 tried to kill us.
Imagine if we had Kota on there. Chris saying, yes, Ben, finish the season on a high. Hypertech, good evening to yourself, buddy, says, come on, class. Michael Harris, come on, Ben, cruise it home, lad. John, I thought we were friends, he says in the chat. Great lineup for next season, says Chris. So we will discuss in the admin chat whether there is morning, night and evening races in LMU. And we still have to discuss a lot about LMU for next season in terms of the length of the races. It will just be the one race, though. So it won't be like a sprint and feature on LMU. It will just be the one race in that evening. So we are looking at like a 90-minute race for LMU as well. And more details will come. Keep your eyes on social media and on our Discord and SimGrid as well. But it's Class who needs a good result. And I can tell you, Class needs 13th place minimum to take it to a countback of race wins with Harris. So if Class is lower than 14th place, Harris will take the championship. If Class is 13th, it will go to a countback. If Class is 12th or above, he wins the gold title. But all results are provisional. Let's not forget, we can't stress this one enough. It doesn't mean that he's going to cross the line as champion. All results are provisional until the stewarding has been either closed or no tickets go in on you on the deadline. And the deadline for the pro tickets is midnight tomorrow night. So Class or Harris will be provisional champions until midnight tomorrow, unless there's any tickets in on Class which will then be over the weekend. So keep your eyes on the Discord, especially to see who is going to be your champions here. When can I announce Ben has BAL Racing sponsorship for next season to support LMU? You tell us whenever you want. I believe Mike told me earlier today. I think he's got to email you back about that one, Chris, as well, because I think Big Apple Logistics will be joining us on that Tuesday night series for LMU, as we are, for the final time tonight, about to go green here. Long wait this time for the green lights, and it's green and go now for the final time this season. Benrook gets a bit of a better start than Clash, just edging in front. Breaks a little earlier though, tucks in behind Clash, so they come down. Vitas just taps one of the Hondas. That was Comor, who got shoveled out a little wide. Just further back though, look at that of Schmidt and Mezin going side by side through the Craner curves. Great shot of them down there. Mezin moves up into third place further down the order. What is happening here? So we've gone back to Ben Rook, who is still chasing on the back of Class. Mackenzie is ahead of Hibbs, down a place for Hibbs here. But look at this behind Kent. You've got Overtaker, Sokolov, and I believe Mike Matthews, who just gets shoveled onto the grass a little bit there, and he's now off at McLean's on the outside. He's going to tumble down several positions and rejoins nearly at the back of the pack then for Mike Matthews. Not the opening lap he'd have wanted, but Class out front early doors, Tanner. Pretty good getaway from everybody, and he is trying to win this championship now.
Yeah, and Ben Rook with a smart decision to turn one just to stay behind Class and just make everybody behind him earn the championship by passing this. Class goes to
Mackenzie!
Ben Rook.
Mackenzie off at the chicane, clips the wall just a little bit. That'll tumble him down to last place then, as here comes Patrick Leger from the back of the field, looking up the inside of Matt Wright, and through he should go. Although there's Kane, Sokolov, Miger and Messina all off in a jumbled up mess that they got at the Melbourne hairpin. So the old race one winner is around, and they're three wide between Messino, McGowan and Miger. Matt Wright's looking up the inside in all of this as well. It is chaos in the background. There are cars absolutely everywhere as they come through the field. Patrick Leger still in the middle of this. Mike Matthews nearly three wide with Gillies and with Sokolov into turn one. And somehow they're all going to filter through nice and easy. Messino just runs wide onto the grass. That gives McGowan, or it gave McGowan, a sniff of a look. Look at Matt Wright and Miger, though, side by side down the Craner curves. Absolute chaos in the backfield.
Yeah, his return to pit, so he has at least a 2-minute towing penalty in there, and still has to exit the pit lane. He's probably already a lap down, too.
He will be, I think, at the end of this one. He might actually be, because I don't think he crossed the line, did he? So, yeah, he might already be a lap down. But out front, it is Class from Rook, from Mezin. At this moment, Cardno's got the fastest lap of the race, but it was the opening lap of it. And through the field they now go. Class has got to be patient as Mezin looks to attack the back of Ben Rook down into the Melbourne hairpin. He's going to go right around the outside. You can overtake around here because it will set you up for Goddard's. Has Mezin kept a nose in on that inside line of Ben for that Goddard's hairpin then, the final corner. This is allowing Class to stretch his legs just a little bit. And Mezin still up the inside. Ben, though, round the outside line. He'll now have that inside for turn one of Redgate. And what a race this is turning out to be. It's his lap two we've just started. And Ben Rook side by side with Mezin into Redgate corner. There you go. Ben Rook stays ahead of the BMW, who tucks underneath. Ben gets on the grass. Little squirrely for Ben. Through goes Mezin. Through goes Schmidt. Here comes Vitas on Ben Rook. And through goes Vitas on the Lamborghini. And Ben just now has to stick as close as he can to these cars in front. Went a little deep at turn one and put himself in the grass a little bit there, Tanner.
Yeah, I don't know if Ben Rook thought staying ahead of Mizzen was the right idea. Again, it's probably because hindsight's 20/20, but I think he should have just as soon as Mizzen went right beside him, should have let him go and just stayed in P3. You got 56 minutes left of this race. You have time to make that position back even through the pit stops if you have better pace than him. I just don't think fighting him for P2 this early in the race was the smart idea.
I agree. We've lost Keynes from this race, so he has retired from this one. What a shame for Keynes, as here goes Schmidt looking onto the back of Mezin. Class now has a 1.3 second lead out front. Hibbs is trying to get onto the back of Richie Michel once again here in this race. And McGowan having a look on Messinio. That is Gillies, who's on the inside line of Sokolov, who's trying to go round the outside of Gillies here. He had a look on Mike Matthews as well, but wasn't close enough. Sokolov then will have that inside line coming into the final corner. So Gillies just dropping down the order a little bit here. And Sokolov now gets the move done. Gillies tucks back in behind. And what's happened further forward? That is Messinio, who's tumbled down the order. And McGowan looks slow to get away as well. McGowan's going to let Messinio back through. This could open the door then for Mike Matthews into Redgate. And it does open the door. What about Sokolov? Nearly got through. But McGowan loses out as he gives the place back to Messinio. Loses out to Mike Matthews as well. So Mike's back on a charge. Leger from the back of the field is up to 14th. Keep your eyes on his progression in this race. And further forward, it is still Schmidt hunting down Mesin. And 1.3 seconds between Mesin and Klaas. At the moment, Klaas is doing everything he needs to do. To answer your question, Chris, Klaas needs 12 or above to win it outright. 13th place will go to a countback of gold race wins. 14th or lower will mean that Harris wins the championship. But at the moment, you have to say it's going the way of Klaas.
Yeah, Klaas needs, was it Harris? Harris needs Klaas to have one of. I hate to say it. He needs to pray for Klaas's downfall here, just to have some type of some issue or anything for him to seal the win since he's not here. Ben Rook looking racy behind Vitas right now too. I think he just has to be patient, just like how he was at Valencia.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like at Valencia, he let the championship come to him. He does not need to make any stupid moves or aggressive moves here. He has done all the hard work early in the season to be able just to literally take the least amount of risk possible today.
Well, Mezin's taken the fastest lap of the race. This is a fight between Matt Wright in 11th place, who the field have really gapped Matt Wright at the moment. That's Meiger and Leger behind him. Big gap then back to Messinio with Mike Matthews just behind. And then it's McGowan who's having a good fight with Sokolov. That was Messinio just kicking up the dirt a little bit. So this could give Mike a run up in towards McLean's corner. It's not going to, although Mike may think of just doing a Matt Neal move there, for those who know who Matt Neal is, and just trying to look up the inside, but can't do so. Comore gaining on the back of Cardno, bringing Richie Michelle and Hibbs along with him as well. And Klaas has just had that gap cut down to a second between him and Mesin, but he's bringing Schmidt, Vitas, Rook, and almost Cardno with him. So Klaas just starting to be caught a little bit now. We'll see how that McLaren handles as the track starts to warm up throughout this hour. And Klaas knows what he's got to do. The thing for Klaas, a bit like Ben, is he doesn't need to risk anything in this race. He knows he's just got to not finish outside that top 10 and he'll pretty much take that championship.
Well, he's done the hard, especially around here, he's done the hard work already by getting the overall pole in qualifying. Yeah. So now he has the quote-unquote easy job now of leading the pack and be able to set the pace, as Mizzen loses 4/10 in the last sector. So he doesn't need to, basically same thing as Rook. He doesn't need to take any risks. Take the least amount of risks as possible. Yep. He can defend the position because I know everybody wants to overall win. I completely understand that. It's just he doesn't need to fight tooth and nail for it. He can still put the elbows out and fight for it, but he does not need to scrap for it that he needs it.
Little risk for big reward. For him tonight. Ben Rook's taken the fastest lap of the race, down in 5th place at the moment, and the way it's going for Ben Rook, he will also be crowned champion of Platinum again, all provisional, just in case tickets come in or anything, so nothing will be confirmed until it is posted on the Discord, but Ben will be your provisional champion at the moment. He's been with us for 2 years, twice a runner-up. You know, he's been on learning from Dan Davis over the last few seasons. Remember when he first started, wasn't in a great environment, wasn't happy with the environment he was in. There's Schmidt there, nearly into the back of Mesin. This is really going to allow Klaas to just pull away a little bit more. Mesin goes a little wide then. Schmidt can't get the run out the corner to get alongside him. So this is all helping Klaas. But yeah, Ben Rook wasn't in a great environment when he first came into SimPlay. And since joining Dan Davis, he's really come on leaps and bounds over these seasons. But we've got the 4 Platinum drivers here really going at it. This is just allowing Klaas now to run up the road. He's 1.7. What is it at Sector 1? 1.9. He's just getting further and further away from these drivers.
Yeah, I think Mizzen is driving through his mirrors right now. I know the BMW is heavy around here, and it's understeer is all hell, but if he wants the overall win, he just needs to keep his eyes forward.
Yeah.
The BMW probably has a straight line speed over the 3 cars behind him, so he doesn't need to worry about. All he needs to worry about is hitting his braking points and putting the power down efficiently to stay ahead. He doesn't need to do anything crazy like backs Schmidt up to VTAS and hope he makes a move. He needs to keep his eyes forward because he was catching class before he started making these mistakes. As he's off the track, it takes 2 wheels off in the grass again.
So he's made another mistake there. Further down the field, we've got Comor trying to catch Cardno with Richie Michel. We've got Miga in a great scrap with Patrick Leger. In fact, it looks like Leger may have got a better run than Miga down towards the Melbourne hairpin. Miga comes across as much as he can to try and cover this off. But up the inside goes Patrick Leger. And is that going to be the move done for the Ferrari? Does he get the traction out the corner compared to the Mustang? No, he does not. So Miga will still have that inside line for the final corner. Now if Leger can hold it around the outside here, which he doesn't try to do, he tries to go up and under, taps the rear of Miga, through goes Patrick Leger. Little push to pass there from Patrick, but we'll see if that one gets looked at from the stewards as Mike Matthews trying to put Messino under pressure. He's got Sokolov with him, McGowan with Gillies, McKenzie's got Vasic and Jimenez to try and deal with as well. But you're right, Mezin just making them few mistakes. Vitas fastest lap of the race now. Mezin's pulled a gap over Schmidt a little bit. So the more he can not focus on Schmidt and focus on chasing down that gap of class, the better it will be for Mezin in this one.
Yeah, I can see Vitas in about a lap or two starting to eye up Schmidt for that last spot on the podium here, trying to move up and hopefully start having that McLaren attack the BMW. I do think the McLaren's probably the best car around here that's on track, but just I think Mizzen was deep into the hairpin again.
Yeah, a little bit. He gained a 10th on class, but yeah, this last sector seems to be what he's catching Mezin out at the moment. Nothing changing between the top 5 so far, down to Sokolov, who's on the outside line of Mike Matthews coming into the Melbourne hairpin. And Mike almost had a look on Messinio there. Nothing can be done there. What about Matt Wright? He's dropped behind Patrick Leger now. So Leger's up to 11th. And he's got a big gap to close over the other cars. Overtaker is the next car for him to catch. And he is well up the road, going through the exit of turn 1. Leger's got 9 seconds to gain on that pack. Mezin's now 2.3 off the back of class. So struggling even more as Vitas just kicked up a bit of dirt there. And what is happening back down with Sokolov and Mike Matthews? McGowan and Gillies now join them 3 for a little squabble as well. So we'll see what they can bring. As Vasic and Jimenez trying to close in on McKenzie once more. Vitas still your fastest man on track though. Schmidt getting a bit closer to Mezin. Mezin's just making little mistakes tonight, Tanner, that's just cost him that time over class. He'll gain a little bit and then just make a mistake. And now look, 2.7 is that gap.
And I hate to put it on one thing and just like the driver excuse of the car was understeer or something, but it is that 31 kilograms of ballast in that car that makes it. For me last night, it was inconsistent in the braking zones. It was heavy enough to be completely different under the brakes from how it was the entire race, and I think that's the issue with Mizzen right now is the brakes aren't what he's used to.
Yeah.
For the last 9 rounds, it's just. And
the weird thing is how dominant the BMW is at Imola. It feels a bit underbopped, but here at Donington, it feels a bit overbopped. If that's accurate, if you'd agree with the same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I completely agree. I think I saw the bop at Imola, and I nearly choked to death to see how light it was.
Well, Messinio's fell behind Mike Sokolov and McGowan, so he must have had a moment. Leger out just in front of this queue, who got ahead of Matt Wright. He's still 9 seconds behind Overtaker, but clear road in front of him. Comor gaining on the back of Cardno. And the top, the second to 5th, just they're there, but no one can get close enough to do anything.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think Mizzen's the slowest out of the 4 drivers there. And it's just causing them to stick together, because I think Schmidt and Vitas in clean air will be able to expanding the truth, but be able to catch class as he again slow through the hairpin. he's just not comfortable with the brakes on that car.
And Schmidt nearly into the back of Mesin, had to chop out to not hit the back of him, which nearly chopped the nose off of Vitas there then. And Schmidt looking every way he can to get past that BMW. On board with Schmidt. This is riding on board the Honda as they come down towards Redgate Corner. Has a look on that inside line once again. And through he goes, through turn one. You can see Class just driving off in the distance. 3.6 seconds now, the gap. Where is that McLaren? There it is, emerging at the bottom of your screen through that dirty windscreen of the Honda. And Class currently in a world of his own at the moment. And round the old hairpin goes Schmidt for the time being. Vitas on the back of him. Ben just losing out a little bit there. Comore trying to catch onto the back of Cardno. Meiger on the back of Matt Wright. Still Mike Matthews and Sokolov and McGowan are gaining onto the back of these two as well. And then Vasic has lost out to McKenzie and Jimenez has lost out to Vasic. He's another man who can't wait to put that BMW in the bin. I know that from experience of chatting to him. He is already picked his car, I think, for next season. But yeah, what a race this is turning out to be. Are we about to crown Class for his first ever championship? Are we about to crown Ben Rook for his first ever championship? He's won another Constructors' Championship. And as Ben Rook, after all his Audio Sport ones with Dan Davis, he's took another one under a new name with a new teammate. And Mesin, he's just got nothing in this race, has he? He's just really struggling for pace.
Thing is, the car looks really good through all the medium and high speed stuff. It's just low speed, heavy braking zones. That's where he's losing it. Because through sector 1 and in a little bit of sector 2, he looks fine. He's actually faster than Class. It's just that last sector, I don't know. It's not hooking up there.
Yeah.
Hooking up right. And another development, Patrick Lizet has caught almost 3 seconds the last 2 laps to overtake her.
Well,
or to Michelle.
To Richie Michelle, yes. So something's happened to Richie Michelle because Overtaker's got ahead of him. So we won't be able to see what's happened there. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see what Patrick Leger can do because that got down to 6 seconds. Richie Michelle, there he is. There's Patrick Leger, 6.3 now. Matt Wright has lost out to Meiger. He's got his teammate closing in on him. Still with Sokolov, McGowan, Massinio and Gillies have dropped off the back of them two just a little bit as Gillies looks to try and make up some ground in this race. Comore on the back of Cardno as well. But there's your race leader, pretty much in control at the moment. And in a world of his own, because 3.7 seconds, he can just drive his own race so far, can Class.
Yeah, if I was him and with his pace, I'd be driving 85% right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason why you should even be testing any of the track limits. Yeah. I'm going back to Schmidt, Vitas, and I'm gonna count out Rook just because I think he's doing exactly what he needs to do and just sitting back and just letting the championship come to him. But I can see Vitas and Schmidt boxing here in the next 2 minutes, right around the 40-minute to 35-minute range to undercut Mizzen.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sokolov's just got out of Mike Matthews. But yeah, I completely agree. I think that 40-minute mark is a window that they could try and get through. Sokolov's gone deep. Mike Matthews gets back through on Sokolov, so through he goes. McGowan right there now as well. But yeah, that 40-minute window is a good window to pit in. And if you're Vitas and Schmidt, like you say, Rook can play this game all he wants to now. He can just sit and let them three in front fight. He's got to just stay behind them two in this race as Messino stays out the wall but loses out to Gillies. Is he about to lose out to McKenzie? No, he rejoins right into the path of McKenzie, who hits him up the rear. And Vasic gets 2 places. Jimenez might also get one. Yes, he does. Messino at well off the circuit. Matt Wright coming back on Meiger now. Neil Broom saying, not sure if you know, but no game audio. That's might be on me then. There should be game audio.
Oh, I don't know what happened to Smits, but Smits is almost a good little bit behind Mizzen.
Yeah, the Class has still got that 4/10 lead. We just double check. Yeah, we've still got game audio, so let me know if you can hear it now, Neil. Thank you for informing me. It is showing on the screen that there is game audio as well, so hopefully that is okay. But yeah, not sure what has happened there to the audio of the game. So let me know if it is back, Neil. But yeah, Schmidt has lost a second now to Mezin, so he's well behind at the moment. Got that work to do. But this is now Mezin's opportunity, while Schmidt's dropped to second back, to just start to close that gap to Class, isn't it? He's now got that less pressure from behind. He can now head after Class. As who's that off? Well, he can't, because he's off at the old hairpin. Mezin down behind Ben Rook now.
If I ever need like to write a paper about Commentator's Curse, this season's full of it.
Yeah, it is indeed. Always is, though.
Like, well, yeah, I know. It's just, I was about to say, Mizzen finally stopped driving in his mirrors and started putting down great lap times as he caught 3/10 in the sector where he's struggling the most. But then he does that. I know the pain he's going through too, because that car is just a miserable to drive in the last sector.
Yeah,
it's just terrible. Yeah. Now Schmidt is now pretty much unleashed. Doesn't have to watch a BMW go around the track and hopefully see his pace compared to Classes. Now he has a 5.5 second gap to make up.
Well, Class has got the fastest lap back, and Vitas is coming under pressure from Ben Rook. So that's opened the gap up between Schmidt and Vitas to 1.2 seconds. But you said it earlier, Vitas and Schmidt seem quicker than Mezin. And we'll see what they can do now that they have been unleashed. Comor on the back of Cardno for P6 and 7. BMW just lost all grip on the rear, Chris said. So that must be what have happened to Mezin then. Overtaker's gaining on Hibbs. So here comes Overtaker. Leger's got the gap down to 4.7 to Richie Michel. Sokolov, the first man in the pits, just under 40 minutes left in this race now. And Sokolov has decided to pull the trigger on that pit stop at the moment. Let us know if there is game audio, please, chat, because it is unmuted on my end. So please let us know if there is game audio or not. And I'll get that one looked at as soon as we possibly can. Let me go on board to see if the browser source goes a bit louder for the game audio. And indeed it has, so the audio must be there. So hopefully that is working for you. But yeah, Vitas back just under a second to Schmidt. None of these top drivers, bar Mezin, is cracked at the moment, have they? Because Class is just driving away with this. Schmidt and Vitas and Rook just haven't really made a mistake.
They really, in my opinion, they really haven't had the opportunity to make the mistake. Rook is pretty much pushing Vitas around here in the last sector, but they haven't. I don't think they've had the ability to be able to show their entire pace. As Schmidt's lost a 10th this lap to Class.
Schmidt has lost a 10th, and I'm being told there is no audio, so we'll try and get that one sorted in just a moment. Oh, we are trying to get that one sorted. We are working on this. And
Slokov comes out right in front of Hibbs.
Oh, so there we go. So Sokolov, a lap down now, is he, in this race? Yeah, he is. So he must have had some damage to that car as to why he's gone a lap down. They've got us just no game audio. So bear with me. I'm going to try and have a look at this one and see what we can sort out. You've got to love technology. And yeah, hopefully we can get something back in just a moment.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, we're watching.
As Slokov gets out of the way of Hibbs for blue flags and Overtaker, it looks like. I gotcha. Well, everybody's good. Looks like going. Stop your barking. Good half second off. Only closest race right now is between Komar and Tom. These two have pretty much been stuck together to the hip from the race start, and it just Komar just hasn't been able to get close enough to him. As it looks like Cardno's losing a little bit of time to Mizzen as well, so I don't think he'll be able to catch. As Schmidt loses another 10th this lap to Class, so it looks like Class is finally putting the pedal to the metal to push away from Smith's. And Vitas is dropping as well to Smith. So looks like Vitas does not have the pace of the front two.
I have just changed the screen to the chat who can hear us. I am just changing the screen to the break screen. We will talk to you about what is happening out there on circuit at the moment. I'm just going to restart my personal stream to see if that gets it working. And hopefully it will. So just bear with us for just a couple of seconds while I just try and get this sorted. And hopefully we'll be able to get this one up and running for you all to hear in just a few moments' time. It is saying it is working on the browser source, but I will try and get this one up. So me and Tanner can be heard, if I'm correct, and hopefully we should have the game. Right, I have turned it up a bit more as well. So hopefully the game audio will be there for you all to hear. Please do let me know if you can hear that game audio now. If not, we do apologise. We are going to try and work on it still and get it back. But hopefully the game audio says it's coming through, and hopefully it will be able to be heard for you chaps out there in the chat already for you guys to listen to. Apologies for the technical issues that we have just suffered there. Vitas 1.1 behind Schmidt. Schmidt is making no inroads to class though, is he?
It's been fluctuating right around 5.2 to 5.4. He had that initial little bump to his pace when Mizzen slipped, as Mizzen's almost 4 seconds behind Ben Rook. So that just shows, one, how much class was holding back with Mizzen behind him, and how much he was holding back Schmitz and Vitas as they're now pulling away from that BMW. And looks like Mike Matthews in the pits too at minute 34. 34, and looks like he does hit his brake markers this time for his pit box. So hopefully he'll have a normal length pit stop this time.
The YouTube stream. So let us know now if you can hear it or not. I'm still working on these audio issues, so apologies about this at the moment. Hopefully it will be there now for you all to be able to hear. I've just changed a few settings around to make sure that is heard. Was it there in race 1? Because I can't understand why it isn't there in race 2. So hopefully it is back now. But yeah, interesting to see. Field is just... There's still a few cars within close gaps to each other, but just not a lot happening at the moment, as Gillies has tumbled down the order a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually don't know what the hell... Put that in the jar. What happened to him is Overtaker now comes in the pits as well for his pit stop. So looks like the 35-minute mark was the window for everybody to start coming in now, as Mike Matthews made his stop and just came right behind class. So hopefully he'll be able to undercut the drivers around him and gain some spots.
Still nothing in the chat, so still can't understand why there is no audio. We are working on this, so please bear with us. We are trying to get this one sorted for you all in this race session. And yeah, not a million, not fully sure why this isn't working at the moment. I've got everything unmuted on my end. I'm just going to double check on my personal stream to make sure that it can be heard. We are still working on these issues, so we do apologise for these little technical issues we are having at the moment. But yeah, just a quiet race, similar to yesterday, wasn't it? Really, it's just a quiet race, this second one.
Yeah, Smith comes into the park, so his tires are probably bad. But yeah, it's a quiet race. It's less of the stress of the 15-minute race. You have to make them. You have to be super aggressive, and you have to. Like Cardinal comes in as well. You have to be super aggressive. You have to make your moves early. You have to make them quick, just so you can get in the amount of positions as possible. Now it's just you're waiting for that first pit stop and to see where you come out and where you have to push. As trying to look around to see if anybody's finding.
So I can't hear it. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Gotta love technology. As Matt Wright falls back, and only person within a second of anybody is Ben Rook, and Ben Rook is just having a nice little Thursday stroll, a Thursday drive around here.
He is indeed. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and load up my personal stream on the YouTube. So it'll come through the desktop audio. So hopefully that'll work and all kind of be in a bit more of a sync. So in fact, no, that's not going to work either until I do this. So hopefully now you should be able to hear the audio sound. If you start to hear double engines, do let me know. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit and then turn Tanner up in the Discord call. So we do apologise for these little technical issues, but hopefully that should now be sorted. You should now be able to hear the car sound, so apologies for that in the stream. And hopefully all is fixed now, ready to go. As John says, don't worry about it, Matt. We'll just have to listen to your beautiful voice. Well, thank you very much. Pit stop starting to happen, though. Ben Ruck takes the net lead of this race at the moment as Class pits. Vitas pits as well. Comore stays out. Mezin in the pits. Then it's Hibbs, Richie Michelle, Leger, Maiga, Matt Wright, Ian McGowan, Vasic, McKenzie, Gillies, and then Schmidt, your current net pit leader. This will be interesting to see if Schmidt's been able to undercut and close that gap to Class.
Yeah, I think Class boxed too early. He had a great gap to the cars behind him, and just the chance of coming out in traffic is too high. As I think he will come out, he might come out behind Gillis here, right when he hits got the limiter. He has a little bit of clean air, but I think boxing right around halfway, which is probably the preferred strategy. Right?
Vitas has just jumped Schmidt in the pit stop, so going longer for Vitas. That extra lap has helped him jump Smith, who loses it on the curb a little bit. So Vitas, technically a net second place right now.
Yeah, no, it's all up to Ben Ruck. When does Ben Ruck pit? I honestly don't know. I don't know what I would do if I was Ben Ruck. I think I would stay out. I don't know. He comes in. He comes in. He was catching the car of Mike Mathew, so I'm guessing just taking again the least amount of risk as possible. As Comar comes in, does Hibbs come in? No, Hibbs stays out. Michelle's coming in. Does Patrick Leger come in? As he's caught Michelle by another 3 seconds since the last time I've seen him. So he's slowly but surely catching up to Michelle.
If there is a sync difference between the audio and the game, then I do apologise. I've had to change it to come through the desktop audio, so it's not coming through as it normally would for the sync. So are we in front or behind them? Gareth, I'll try and sort that out as much as possible. And Wannis Class in the chat saying, I hope Class wins. Well, he's so far leading this race, but the gap is shorter between him and Vitas.
1.7, so something happened. Do you think Vitas and Smith didn't take tires?
No, I think
that could be. Oh,
there was a.
Oh, where does Ben Ruck come out?
There was a bit of a glitch there. And Ben Ruck side by side with Schmidt, and they've made contact. So Ruck and Schmidt make contact there. So Ben Ruck and Schmidt come together. Schmidt around at turn 1. We have lost a driver though.
Yeah, Sokolov.
Sokolov. So that might have been the lag spike we've just seen from him. So apologies if the cars is a little bit ahead of the action that's happening. For some reason, the browser source has decided to just not work in this race, unfortunately, which is always great to see.
Luckily, it's the last race of the season, so hopefully it'll be fixed in this 6-week period we have after this.
Yeah.
As Hibbs is now in the pit lane as well.
Hopefully so. We'll wait to see what happens though in this session. Jumping in board onto Schmidt as we go on board. Anderson says if you jump on board a car for an onboard, I can count the time for you if you like. All Schmidt's fault, Chris is saying. So we did just go on board with Schmidt there. I'll come back off board now because all I can hear is the roar of the engine. Cardno now on the back of Schmidt. Wonder if that'll go in as a ticket. We'll wait and see. But the gap 1.6, Class to Vitas. If Class didn't take tyres over... Vitas and Schmidt didn't take tyres over Class, then Ben Ruck must not have taken tyres either. So we'll wait and see what happens here.
Yeah, or it could have just been Class hitting lap traffic at the worst possible time by pinning that. But yeah, and the incident between Ruck and Schmidt, I think it's be closer to a racing incident just by the little I saw. But I just don't understand why Ben Ruck would try to hang it on the outside. Like, I get it's close, and you're just trying to lose as little time as possible, but that's just me being, again, I'm sitting in my rig, I'm not racing, I'm not making these split decisions.
Ben took tyres is what Chris is saying in the chat. Sorry, Tanner. Ben took tyres, yeah.
Okay. So then that just makes sense that Class just had a terrible outlap then.
Audio is behind the picture. Is the car's audio behind the picture? Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's because it's through. Yeah, I may just have to close the audio down for now. Then we just have to run it without the car audio. for the rest of this race. If that's the case, we'll hopefully have that one fixed and working. But yeah, there's nothing I can do to change that one, sadly, because we've got the audio offset already set for on the Streamlabs for what we use for the browser source. So the browser source has decided to not work again tonight. So you've got to love that. But hopefully it will pick itself back up and start to work. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. What I might do is just copy and paste the link back in, actually, and just see if that's going to work. Right, Mackenzie leads this race yet to pit. Jimenez is just into the pits. You've just said, where does Patrick Leger come out?
He's out in front of Michelle.
He is out in front of
a lot of people.
And he's on the back, of Hibbs. So he's done really well at the moment.
Yeah. I looked back at the timetables for our practice session beforehand. He was the second fastest driver in the session, or in the practice session. So I do expect him to make up. I can see him getting about P9, P8 by the end of this race. Maybe in P7 being super optimistic in the last 25 minutes.
Right. Let's try that now. Let's see if the audio is there now. I've reset it again. If not, we're just going to have to leave the audio for the cars tonight. But yeah, Patrick Leger going great guns at the moment. Ben Ruck still close to the back of Vitas. Obviously, that incident to Schmidt's dropped Schmidt down to P5 at the moment. P6, net P5 when Mackenzie makes his pit stop. McGowan's behind Mike Matthews, who's still not got ahead of Matt Wright at the moment. We're down to 19 drivers, so we have lost another driver. So we know we lost Cairns. We've lost Messinio is the other driver we've lost, and Sokolov. So we have lost two drivers in this race. What a shame for them guys not to be able to finish this season in a strong way. But I suppose that is what it is, isn't it, throughout this season? As McGowan looking on the back of Matthews at the moment. That for Messinio might put Matt Wright ahead of him here, though. So let's see what happens now in this race. McGowan looking up the inside. Can't get past Mike Matthews there, but he gets a run. And alongside Mike Matthews, does Ian McGowan get now? So has he got the momentum? No, he doesn't. Tucks back in behind Matt, down in towards turn number 1. And that's a shame for Ian McGowan there. He'd love to end his season on a high. We've not seen McGowan for a few weeks. I think he was away for a couple. But he's back to finish the season quite strong now.
Yeah, looking up the field, Mackenzie's still out, being the last car out to need to take his pit stop, and Klaas is just right behind him. So I'm interested to see when Mackenzie pits, because I'm pretty sure if he stays out for another lap, he's gonna start slowing Klaas down, which I'm pretty sure he has been, because Vitas has caught a second in the last 2 laps.
Interesting. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll keep our eyes.
He's in now. Okay.
Yeah, so Mackenzie's in now. So we'll see what happens for this one in just a moment. I just pressed the wrong button as I'm trying to get this back, so just please bear with me once again. We're going to keep you on the go here, and I'm going to try one more thing to get this up, and hopefully this will now this time work for what we are trying to do. So apologies for the interrupted screens here. If this doesn't work, we are just going to leave it with the with mine and Tanner's voices, and we'll make do of it there this time around. So let's see what happens this time when we get the audio on, which is all there. It's all going, it's all working. And transition back over. And now I've got to figure out how to put the audio back on this once again. Tinnis did tell me the other week, so again, let me know if there's any audio or not. Well, I continue to work around with this, as at the moment. We are just trying to get this one back sorted, and the minute we do, we will have this one up and running in just a few moments' time.
Vitas was almost sideways going through the chicane. I know the Code Brown moment he just had, and he somehow gained a 10th through the last sector while doing that. That's insane. As Komar's still behind Cardno. He's gonna be able to tell me every little pixel on that Cloud9 racing car by the end of this race. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, he is. He is indeed.
He's been within a second of Cardno the entire race.
I'm still watching the
As
McGowan fight here. Right, let me know if you've got the audio now. I can't see the control level for it, so let me know if you've got the audio now. I've put it back down to where it was. Don't worry about doing the stuff for Le Mans Ultimate. I used to stream a lot of Football Manager on my personal Twitch and stuff, so I know about the audio and things on there, so don't worry about that. Vitas gets a poor run through Coppice as Ben Rook's now on the back of him, but still not close enough to make a move. Mez in 6 seconds behind. Class has started to run away with this again. He's opened that gap back up. Leger can't get past Hibbs. McGowan still on the back of Matthews. Matt Wright gaining on Miger. 20 minutes left of this race, though, and it's really quietened off in this race at the moment.
Yes, it has. It's just the nature of this track and just how it tends to stretch the field and with the two hairpins and the little weird elongated traction zones. It just tends to stretch the field as Vitas loses a tenth in the last sector, and it stretches the field. The closest fight is Ben Rick on Vitas and Patrick Leger. I can see him making a move here on Hibbs in a lap or two.
So let's see what will happen in this race then. So Vitas losing a bit more time to Class, but we know that Ben Rook is still on the back of him. We've got Cardno being hunted down by Comore still in this race. So Comore's kind of been stuck behind Cardno. Leger getting a bit closer to Hibbs. He'll like to get past Overtaker as well in this race, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can. Again, Patrick being this, I think probably this, he most likely is the 3rd or 4th fastest car on the track right now in terms of just raw pace. And with the qualifying ban pretty much stunted will stunt any type of good result he's going to have today. But getting to the top 10 in Pro from starting from behind, especially around here, is a great race in itself. And it looks like he can improve on it here shortly. As Komar looked for a move on Cardno and backs out of it.
We're watching Patrick Leger, who looks like he's going to make a move on Hibbs here. And up the inside, Hibbs gives him a wide berth, and Hibbs lets Leger go. Up the inside, we have audio, says Gareth Anderson in the chat. So there we go, we've got it fixed. It's took a lot of time, but we've got it fixed. Remember, if you like what you see here at SimPlay Motorsport, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new, as well as hitting the bell to be notified. Le Mans Ultimate coming next season on the PC. On the Tuesday night series. Keep your eyes out on Discord and social media and SimGrid for any information to do with that, as well as Season 11 of ACC Pro and Pro-Am coming back your way. So Leger's up tonight, 2.5 seconds off the back of Overtaker. Comore still trying to find a way past Cardno, who's running second in gold. Remember, your leader in gold is the overall leader in this race, and that is that of Class at the moment in this one. Ben trying to hunt down Vitas, but Ben just can't get close enough, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do in this race. We are down to the 19 runners, and what a shame for that. Franco in the chat saying, shame that Vitas got taken out in the first race. Would have made the second race a lot more exciting. Drive-through penalty for Vitas, though, now. That would have been at the chicane, and Ben Rook's got past him as well. So, real nail in the coffin there. Ben Rook up into second. Vitas drive-through penalty.
Yeah, that helps Mizzen, the person that's been struggling the most out of the top Platinum drivers with the BMW up to P2, and just Ben Rook, literally by doing nothing, is now in the lead of the Platinum.
Crazy, isn't it, how it works out in these races? But Vitas and drive-through penalty for him. What a shame. He's now got to sit and wait for that drive-through. It's only a short one here. It's only, I think, 19 or so seconds for the drive-through penalty here, but he is going to lose out to Cardno, and Comore should come out ahead of Overtaker in this one. Maybe not, because here comes Overtaker as Vitas comes out the pits. They both sort of swerve to avoid each other. Tip saying Gownie enjoying trying to push Mike into a mistake is what he's saying in the chat. Vitas getting back ahead of Overtaker there. Overtaker not fighting that one too hard and allowing Vitas to get through, but that's allowed Leger to just catch up a little bit. And McGowan's trying to push Mike into an error. That I'd love to see. Mike is a tough cookie to crack at times, unless he gets hit.
Give him an old American bump and run. Something from NASCAR. Give him a little bump and run here. They're most likely through the chicane, probably the best place to do it if you would to do it. I'm pretty sure it's against the rules here. I'm not for certain, but
no push to pass
it's against it. As, of course, and then Mike Matthews goes wide. Oh, he might be able to make a move here. No, McGowan slits back in and thinks better of the move.
Well, he's keeping close to Mike Matthews. This is looking on board with Ian McGowan at the moment. You can see him coming through Coppice Corner down onto the SimPlay Straight, what used to be known as the Dunlop Straight when it had the Dunlop Bridge. It's now the no name for it actually down there, so we call it the SimPlay Straight here. And this is why it's our home, into the Fogarty S's. There you go. Mike Matthews, poor run there compared to McGowan, and McGowan goes to the outside line. Mike's going to force him to the outside line here. And Mike Matthews defending that inside. If McGowan can hold it round the outside, which he doesn't, he tucks back in. McGowan could have had a look in towards Goddard's, but Mike Matthews fends that one off once again. Patrick Leger now on the back of Overtaker, who's still pretty close to Class. Keep your eyes on them lap times now out front. Does Ben Rook have the pace of Class now that he's got clear air to run in? They're not going to come up to a lap car at the moment. They're all fine for traffic thus far. Also, saying that actually Class is gaining on Jimenez. So, yeah, that could be an interesting one to keep our eyes on. But Leger running really well from back of the grid. Remember, 23rd he was in qualifying. Now running all the way up the order at the moment.
I have a feeling there's gonna be another drive-through. Jesus, another drive-through here coming up soon. Just especially in this mid-pack where everybody's close enough, and I have a feeling who it is. I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not going to put that type of energy towards them. But I have a feeling on who it's going to be. If it happens, you'll hear me mute, because I'll be laughing. I'll be not because it's funny, because I'll be hysterical. As Patrick Leger might be going on to move an overtaker here on the last corner.
Oh no! Taps him. Taps him. I'm sure he tapped him. Yeah, he definitely tapped him into that last corner. And I don't think Leger's going to make the move here. No, he's allowed Overtaker to stay back out in front. Look at the times, though. Cordno's also got the gap down to under a second to Schmidt now.
Oh, he does again. Oh, and there goes Overtaker.
Oh, has he hit him again?
Yeah, to turn one.
Oh, Patrick
Leger into the back of Overtaker, and makes Overtaker go out into the gravel, and he rejoins P10.
Yeah, loses out to Hibbs as well in that one. As Chris said, just had to run upstairs. Ben had a bug flying around his screen, bugging him. If you'll pardon the pun there, Chris. He said, pun intended. As Comore at the minute gaining on Cordno. Cordno slowly creeping in on Schmidt. Just lost a couple of hundredths in that last sector. But is slowly creeping onto the back of Cordno. There's Vitas down to 7th place. Mezin could have found his way onto the podium at the minute. Ben leads that Platinum Class. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing at this moment, and provisionally that championship will be his. Who's that having a battle further forward? It wasn't anybody having a battle. It was just the two different colours of Jimenez's car that made me think that there was two cars side by side there.
Cardno had a really bad exit out of the penultimate corner. Comarth, I think, had the opportunity to dive up on the inside and make a move, but he stays behind for another lap. That might have been I think that was a bit too patient from Colmar there and he stays behind Cardno.
Let's see what happens then. Ben Rook's got the gap down to 3.8 to Class, so he's clearly got some pace. Now he's in that clean air as Cardno just bouncing on the grass a little bit momentarily. And, oh, no, Comore did down the crane of curves. That's the last place you want to be bouncing on the grass. 0.2 of a second is this gap. Micah gaining on the back of Richie Michelle for what will be 4th place in this gold category. McGowan still there with Mike Matthews, by the way. These two must be enjoying their little fight out on circuit at the moment, as they're still having a bit of a ding-dong battle. And Comore and Cordno, this is your closest fight. Now, Jimenez asked me earlier on, what's he got to do to beat De Court? Well, he needs 41 points in this race. What do you get for 19th place? 30. So if he could somehow find the pace to get 13th, he'd be able to go ahead of De Court in this championship. I somehow think that's going to be a little unlikely for him. Just hasn't got the pace. Yeah, he just hasn't enjoyed that BMW, has he?
I know a few people have, like my teammate Argent enjoyed the BMW all season. Probably not this week, as
Schmidt made a mistake. Schmidt made a mistake at the chicane. That's put Cordno through. Schmidt is slow, and Cordno and Comore have both got through here then. And Comore has also got ahead of Cordno.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Smith went deep trying to make a move on Cardno, and went really wide, forcing his teammate and Cardinal wide. He does the right thing and let both drivers through, but the racing softs pretty much swapped positions somehow.
Yeah.
And Komar's now ahead of Cardinal, and Schmidt now is looking in the back of that McLaren, as Vitas is probably the biggest benefactor on that, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, he is within 2 seconds of the Honda in front of him.
Yes, we'll see what Vitas can do. Miga's gaining on Richie Michelle. McGowan's still behind Mike Matthews at the moment. So that's an interesting one to keep our eyes on, because that's been developing for a while. Miga trying to gain on Michelle, who's just kind of died in this race, hasn't he? His pace looked good at the start, and it's just kind of gone as this race has gone on here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's carrying a little bit of damage. I don't know if I saw it or not, but he could be having the same issue as what Mizzen had, but just besides the valves, is just inconsistent braking in the last sector.
Yeah.
Because I have been watching his gap to overtaker, and it seems like he catches a little bit through the first 2 sectors, and then this last sector he loses about half a second. It could just be because he's taking less risk through the chicane, as Miga's now. Miga in that Mustang looks really racy right now as well.
He does indeed, as McGowan's still getting closer to the back of Mike Matthews once again. Ben's brought that gap back down to 3.9. Kind of ebbing and flowing between Ben and Class. Although a little mistake there from Class. Oh, and a big wiggle on the outside of McLean's. Now is not the time for an issue for this man. He does not need anything to go wrong and big damage on his car, because that could really hurt his chances in this race. Ben's just realised he was running traction control 1 instead of 2. So now all of a sudden we're going to see Ben chop. Well, he's gained a bit of time there, but I'm not surprised, because Class had a huge moment through McLean's, and his heart would have been in his mouth there for sure.
Yeah, I think Class was just pushing a little bit too hard now, seeing that Ben Rook caught it. Ben Rook's been captaining by a 10th or 2, which isn't enough this late in the race to make any type of indents. So he's just got to run about that 85% of his pace.
And this is the problem, though, Tanner, isn't it? This is the racer in Class who wants to win outright. He doesn't just want that Class win; he wants that overall win. Even though this would still, if he lost out to Ben Rook, he would still take the championship. He wants that race win, and that's the racer in him that wants that overall race win.
Yeah, but he has the gap. He did in his first stint. He did perfect.
Yeah. He
was doing his pace. He wasn't racing in his mirrors. He was putting a gap on Mizzen and everybody behind him. But now I think he's just taking too much risk for where he's at. I know he wants the outright win. He has it right now. He's just pushing that a little bit too much.
Miga and Richie Michelle make a bit of contact side by side through the final hairpin. Miga comes off behind Richie Michelle once again. Hypertech saying, don't drop it now, Class. Cherry Moore saying, let's not see another McLaren issue so close to the end of the race, as Sam William replies with, please don't. And Chris is saying, did Class take tyres? Are they falling off? I'd assume Class took tyres, because the whole pack caught him. Yeah, so I'd assume Class took tyres in that in the pit stops, but we'll wait and see, as Mackenzie's being caught by his teammate Gillies. McGowan still on the rear of Mike Matthews. Miga still staring at the back of Richie Michelle. Schmidt within 7/10 of Cardno now. And Ben Rook, well, that gap's 3.5 seconds. What will it be over the start line? Let's wait and see. As still 3.5 seconds. So, yeah, just maybe that mistake for Class at this stage of the race. Miga gets a good run through Copies, though. Pulls that outside line for the first part of the Foggy TS's. Has that Mustang got enough in the straight line over the Lamborghini? Looks to have, and yes, it does. Miga round the outside. Through he goes before the Foggy S's corner. And Miga up into P11 in this one at the moment. McGowan still chasing Mike Matthews. Gillies trying to hunt down that off Mackenzie. And what a race this has been. Ben's now lost a 10th in the first sector to Class, so I don't think it's a tyre issue. I think it must have just been Class just making 1 or 2 mistakes and maybe a bit of a lapse in concentration here or there.
Not me yelling at him and him not even hearing one of it made him realize, oh wait, I don't need to push all out here. I'm gonna take the credit for that one, since I've been wrong a bunch today. But yeah, it's just this is Class's race to lose from race start to finish. He's got to have the feature race Grand Slam with pole fastest lap if Mizzen and Rook don't beat it and the race win. If he finishes this last 5 minutes and 50 seconds in the lead without any more mistakes.
Just under 6 minutes to go. Good bit of screen time for the Sleepy Lizard Repsol Racing boys here, who are having a nice little scrap. Nissan versus Honda. And the battle of the Japanese manufacturers then through the crane. Oh, and Gillies nearly into the back of his teammate. Off he goes at the old hairpin. This could allow Vasic to get through here as Gillies slowly rejoins, but my days, that would have been a moment for the teammates to take each other out. Schmidt now on the back of Ben Rook. And how's that McGowan Mike Matthews fight? Exactly the same as it was about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Not really changed.
If Komar didn't get past Carno if Komar didn't get past Carno, that was the longest battle on the track. But this McGowan and Matthews, McGowan tries to fake a move to make Matthews go wide, but Matthews smarter of it, just not to fall for it.
He's a tough cookie to crack, his Mike. You've really got to sell him a dummy somewhere just to, like I say, barring a bit of contact, it takes a lot to get Mike riled up. And I'll tell you what, both of these two, I've known McGowan a while, I've known Mike 6 years nearly. They'll both be loving this little fight they're having on track. Even though it's for 14th and 15th, they'll just be enjoying this little fight they're having at the moment out there.
Oh yeah, no, and I've met a good amount of people through SimPlay, and everybody I've met, you could be literally fighting for 18th and 19th.
Yeah.
And if if it's a clean fight and you're basically throwing punches at one another and nobody spins out, you'll come out at the end of it just smiling with the biggest grin of your.
It doesn't matter what, like you say, it doesn't matter what the position is. They just love it as overtaker, drive-through penalty for track limits. And where is that overtaker on track? Chicane would have got him.
Yep.
Yeah, Chicane's got him again. So
I was about to say the front engine cars have been at least moving up in the field, but then overtaker is that. So only 2 front engine cars in the top 10, which I'm pretty sure that's the same amount that we had in qualifying.
Yes, believe it is. Yeah. So overtaker's got 2 laps to do the drive-through penalty. Cardno is closing. In fact, no, he's lost out to Schmidt. So Cardno's lost out to Schmidt. Vitas now trying to get on him. Patrick Leger's only 2 seconds off the back of Vitas. But feel sorry for overtaker there. He got punted off at turn 1, and now he's got that drive-through penalty to his name. You've got to kind of feel sorry for him in a way.
Yeah, and especially since I am not going to hide this, very biased to the American manufacturers and ACC. Even though I didn't drive the Mustang this season, it's always nice to see the Mustang do well. But it sucks. He's been doing the hard work today, especially since he missed the sprint and probably had the least amount of practice throughout everybody, including Vasic, who's running down in P18. He was driving excellently with the circumstances that he had. It just sucks to see that with less than 5 minutes to go, he has that drive-through penalty.
Yeah, exactly. So he's got this lap and 1 more to serve it, and he's got Miger not a million miles behind him. So with it being a short pit lane, I reckon he's going to come out behind McGowan. Possibly he'll come out ahead of McKenzie, but he will go down to 15th place as Mike goes really defensive to McGowan now down the little bit of the back straight in towards the Melbourne hairpin. McGowan sits behind him, tries to tuck underneath. That was the wrong side for McGowan to go, and Mike's just covering that inside line at Goddard. So they both come across in the braking zone. McGowan goes a little deep. And that fight has come to a premature end. An overtaker might get the jump on these two after he comes out the pit lane here. No, he won't. They'll both get him.
Wouldn't it be great if just overtaker comes out right behind these two and joins the fight?
He's not a million. Yeah, he is a little bit.
Yeah, he's a bit.
Back.
Yeah, he's far back.
Yeah, he is a bit far back. Well, we've got a minute and a half left. And I think that by the time Class comes to cross the line, this will be the final lap of the race. Yes, it will be indeed. So here comes Class now, your gold leader. And it's going to be 1-2. And it will be the champions-to-be who will cross the line pretty much together, first and second. But both first in their respective categories as we enter the final lap of the season. And the final lap of this era of SimPlay Motorsport before heading to Le Mans Ultimate, as well as sticking with ACC for the console leagues on a Wednesday and a Thursday night, while we learn Le Mans Ultimate and look forward to making that move on a more full-time basis in the future. Ben's got the gap down to 2.8 to Class. Let me just double check.
Ben Rook realized that he had his ABS in the wrong setting as well.
Oh, brilliant. Imagine if he did. Oh, wow.
He had his TC too low and his ABS too high, and he realized, oh, let me switch these down real quick and find an extra half a second.
Right, here comes Vitas now, who's got Patrick Leger within half a second. Can he do it? Mike and McGowan still going at it. Mike slides out the final corner. And then McGowan's going to have a run down the start straight here. It'll be the outside line, though, for Redgate Corner. I'm sure these two will be absolutely loving this little scrap. Round the outside, McGowan looks, tries to tuck underneath, but Mike holds it on the apex. Perfect now. Warner's Class in the chat says, I'm proud of Class. I'm proud of Class. What an improvement we've seen from mid-pack gold to last season to race winner and your provisional gold champion. Class wins at Donington Park. Ben Rook wins the platinum category, and Ben Rook takes the championship. So does Class. They are your champions for season number 10. Mezin crosses the line, P3. Good result for him. Comore is going to come across for P4 for a good result for him in this race. Schmidt will be P5 in this one. So what a race from him. Cardno P6, Vitas P7, Leger will be P8 before we wait for Hibbs to finish third in that gold category.
Matthews are side by side again, going through the second last corner.
Here we are. We'll go on board with them as the others come towards the line to finish this race. We'll go on board with these two to see what they can do in this one then. So towards that final corner, there you go now. What is Ian McGowan going to be able to do? He's going to try the longer way around. Mike parks it on the apex like an absolute peach. Here comes Ian McGowan to the line. They both go, and Mike Matthews holds on to it. Overtaker was a little wide in the final corner as well. And that'll be a shame for him to end the season the way it has ended for Overtaker. But not to be for him. We're going to go to Vasic and Gillies because they're about to cross the line also after having a decent scrap. Mackenzie, though, down in 16th place. Mike Matthews crossed the line P13. McGowan crossed the line P14. And I believe that is everybody's points in the bag. Overtaker, actually, I've not put his on. He was 15th place. So what a race that was here today for the final time in this championship. Class wins the race from Ben Rook as they do the donuts out there on the circuit. I believe Class has actually gone into the pit lane. So he's not doing the donuts out there at the moment. Yeah, he's in the pit lane. But Ben Rook and BAL are your Constructors champions. And Class is your gold champion as well. The final standings, remember, these are all provisional. So nothing is set in stone at the moment, but it looks pretty much that way. BAL win the Constructors Championship by 126 points to Racing Softs. Balkan Esports finished third from Greasy Bandits Racing fourth. Cloud9 in P5 from SimPlay Racing sixth. Balkan OZ Racing in P7 with the Sleepy Lizard Repsol Racing P8. Balkan Simub was in P9 with that then of Team Richie Corsa rounding out the top 10. In the at P11 for Team KSE Squadra Corsa, Momentum Motorsport P12, Only Momentum 13th, Quantum Motorsport 14th, The Casuals 15th, Flying Dutchman 16th, NS Spinner 17th, and Bearded Racing P18. In the Gold Championship then, it was just not to be for Harris due to being on holiday, but Class wins it by 43 points. All you imagine is that Harris would have had to have turned up tonight to have won that championship, but because he's away on holiday, it's not to be for him. He finishes second, though. Hibbs in third with Cardno getting that top fourth at the end. Richie Michelle P5 with Messinio 6th, Matt Wright 7th, Gillies 8th, Maiga 9th from Manavola, Vasic, Varga, DeCourt, Jimenez, Ugoni, Langley, Rob Smith, Gluhak and Ramsel. And in Platinum, your provisional champion, Ben Rook by 92 points from Schmidt. Vitas finishes in third with Mez in fourth. Marinich was fifth from Patrick Leger. Comore 7th from Mackenzie. Mike Matthews got 9th ahead of Radic, Sokolov, Cairns, Overtaker, McGowan, Platzek, Milliston and Gleeson is your final championship classifications there. Are we joined by anybody in the commentary box at the moment? We are indeed. We have got your 3 champions in. So first of all, I want to grab a quick chat with Michael Harris, who is sunning it up on his holidays at the moment. Michael, not to be in the Gold Championship tonight, but you do come away with that Constructors' title. One heck of a season.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say a massive congrats to both Ben and Klaus tonight. Both well-deserved champions of the season. Obviously, unfortunately, I wasn't there tonight due to sunning it up in Greece. It is nice over here, but it would have been a little bit nicer to try and go for that title tonight at Donington. But Klaus's pace tonight, I was watching the full thing, and oh my God, him in Platinum next season, he's going to be a one to watch for sure. He
is indeed. It's been a great championship, though, for yourself. You've gone head-to-head with Klaus all season. It's been a fantastic battle for you both to for everybody to watch. But the Constructors' title, you know, Ben, a solid teammate. He's won many a Constructors' championships with Dan Davis in the past. Obviously, you've come on board for this year with Dan taking a step back. First championship at SimPlay, and it must be good feeling.
Oh, it's a mega feeling. To be honest, coming into the season, when Ben asked us to be his teammate, I was quite taken back by it. Thinking, why would he want to drive like me, sort of thing. Obviously, that was a little bit of disbelief in myself of what I can do and what I'm capable of. But obviously, together throughout the season, we've shown what we are capable of and came away with the title. So we've just, for me, we've gone way above expectations, and I couldn't be more happier. At least coming away with one piece of gold today. Unfortunately, not 2, but we'll see how that goes going into the next season.
Indeed. Lexus for next season, will that be staying as your car of choice, possibly?
It's a possibility. I have had a little look around with something else, but not quite feeling as comfortable as what I am in a Lexus. So we'll see how the off-season goes. There's a few weeks, obviously, before that starts, so we'll see how things go up until then.
Well, we'll let you get back to your holiday. Enjoy it, buddy, and congratulations on the Constructors' Championship.
Thank you very much, mate. See you then.
And we'll jump to our gold champion. Class, what can I say? 2 weeks ago, you wasn't able to race. You was away, busy, and you must have thought, damn, that could be the championship gone. But you've managed to get it done at Donington Park. That must feel good.
Yeah, no, the feeling is great. If Harris didn't miss this race, I think it would have been a different outcome, to be honest. But he definitely did not make it easy for me. He's been on my ass the whole season, and yeah, I mean, he's a great guy, and he's definitely made me push really hard to get the championship. And to be honest, coming in the season, I didn't expect to get any great results. I was expecting to fight in the midfield, but the Greasy Bennett Racing team really did help, and especially my teammate helped as well. So I want to give congratulations to Hips as well. He has definitely helped a lot in this season. So yeah.
It was a cracking championship, and yourself and Harris at times have taken outright podiums, and obviously you've got the outright win tonight. Just a pretty dominant display from yourself tonight. Race 1 obviously didn't go your way, and you must have been thinking, oh God, I've got a lot of work to do for race 2, but pretty comfortable win in the end for yourself.
Yeah, race 1 was horrible, to be honest. Yeah, turn 1 I managed to get some position, but then I got pushed. I don't know if it was my fault or not, but I went to last place, then I pitted at the wrong time. I had a terrible pit stop, came out last almost, and accidentally hit someone. So, yeah, sorry to him. But, yeah, I mean, I was happy with a P10 for race 2, so yeah. I'm pretty happy with a P1 at least. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. Pole position, fastest lap, almost led the entire race. So, yeah, couldn't have gone any better, I think.
Indeed. Next season, what's the thoughts for next season? Obviously, you'll be making that jump up to the platinum category if you're sticking around with being champion. McLaren once again, what's the thoughts on that one?
I'm going to be trying some different cars during the break, but I think the McLaren is going to be a pretty big chance still, to be honest.
Well, we look forward to seeing that. next season. Class, congratulations. You're provisional gold champion for season number 10. Congratulations, buddy.
All right, thank you.
And we're joined by Ben Rook as well. Ben, youngest ever champion at SimPlay Motorsport history. Been 2 years since you've been racing here with us, and you've finally been able to just take that final leap and get onto the championship top step. No longer the bridesmaid, but the bride tonight. A great feeling just before your GCSEs.
Yeah, it's mental. I was not expecting to win it this season after how last season kind of ended, but it just all played out well. It just, again, worked out every single race pretty much. Kept clean, well, somewhat clean, and kept to myself sort of as well.
Yeah, it was a real great good performance tonight, should I say. Not the outright pace from yourself tonight, but you did exactly what you needed to do to take that championship.
Yeah, I was not going to take any risks, not at all. I was behind Vitas and he kept defending, and I just kind of kept lifting off to say I'm not bothered trying to fight you. And I think eventually he got the message, but then unfortunately a lap later or so he got the drive through.
Yeah,
which was a bit unfortunate for him.
Just talk us through it a little bit more, though. This championship, like we say, you've been the bridesmaid for 2 seasons. You've been able to now just have a pretty consistent season. You know, we've seen you in seasons in the past where you've taken race wins and taken a lot of podiums, but as this season's got deeper towards the end, you seem to have changed the way you've approached races. You seem to have taken races more at a conservative approach instead of trying to get the positions and score as many points as you can. You've seemed to play that championship game and pick up the points where you've needed to over the likes of Schmidt, Mezin and Vitas.
Yeah, absolutely I have been. There's no point in trying to rush the positions and have a chance of me getting taken out or taking someone else out. And it's just being the patient game again. Done that for quite a few seasons now, and it's worked, almost worked twice, but this season it's worked beautifully. Yeah,
it has indeed. Obviously you are leaving us at the end of this season. You'll be doing the LMU Championship on the Tuesday night. Obviously you've got GCSEs coming up and things that you've now got to focus on. So to win it in your final season of ACC is a great achievement.
Yeah, I mean that's just the plan. That was the plan since the very start, and it's just taken me 6 seasons to finally get it, but I finally got it eventually, and just before I was about to take a breakaway, so that just feels amazing.
Well, Ben,
but I might do some reserves for ACC.
There we go. Well, we hope to
just get a number 1 on the car.
Yeah, we hope to see you on the grid, buddy. It'll be great. But well done, congratulations. You are the provisional platinum champion.
Thanks, and thanks to Harris and all the admin team. They've been great. Especially Harris with his pace and performance and consistency, and Big Apple Logistics for giving me this opportunity.
No worries, buddy. Well, have a good one, and best luck in your GCSEs as well.
Thanks, man.
We have got Patrick Leger and Mezin in there. I'm going to get a quick word from Patrick Leger. Just one question for you, Leger. Decent night for you tonight. Great way to end the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like after I lost my head to Valencia, I think this is a great way to take revenge of what happened last week. And I mean, I was really happy with my pace. I think if I didn't lose my head, I could have maybe fought for the podium. But I mean, that is what if. But I mean, really pleased with my pace and with my race today, how I raced today.
It's been a good season. You should be. I assume you'll be back next season to just try and take it one step further.
Definitely. I mean, like I have now won a couple of podiums in Platinum and in official placements as well. So next season, I'm staying with Ferrari. I can already spoil you guys that. I'm trying to sneak in a win, an official win. That's like my goal for next season.
Well, we can't wait to see you out there, Patrick. The Plataman, he's going to try and deliver in Platinum. We'll see what happens there. Well done, Leger.
Thank you.
And Mezin joins us as well. Mezin just wasn't to be tonight. A little too much work to do to get that championship, but you gave it your all this season. It's been a cracking season from you.
Yeah, it was a bit ridiculous. Then Vitas was unfortunate. It was really unfortunate moment for him in race one in his span, and he gifted me second place in this championship, but I lost it in the last chicane. I got a drive-through that
Yeah.
was actually ridiculous, and I am desperate looking at replay because I knew exactly that I have to avoid this, but I felt like I left the space, quite a lot of space, but it still gave me this drive-through. So I will see. I probably didn't avoid it, and I just felt it incorrectly. But this season was actually, it was great racing, despite it was a lot of accidents, a lot of stuff, a lot of glitches and contacts, but it was great to race here. I really appreciate your effort, guys, and thank you to everyone who I raced with. Also wanted to apologize to whoever I tapped, pushed, or ruined the race, or I've done some few not really clean moves, and yeah, I didn't do this intentionally. Sorry for this. So yeah.
No, absolutely fine. Will you be returning next season?
I'm not really sure. I got my PC, so probably not. But I'll see how it goes. You never know.
Well, we hope to see you on Le Mans Ultimate on a Tuesday night if that's the case then, buddy, if you've got the PC. But if not, we wish you all the best luck in the future.
All right. Thank you a lot for this. Best luck to you as well. And yeah, goodbye.
Thank you, Mezin. We've got the two admins in with us as well. Matt, any final thoughts on this season from this year across all three nights?
Oh well, congratulations to Ben. Start off with he's deserved this. He's worked hard over a lot of seasons and gradually got the pace up, and he's been there fighting, hasn't he, for the last few seasons, and this time he's got it along the line. So yeah, over the moon for him. And yeah, congratulations to Klaas as well on that gold championship. I mean, he's feature race win today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
indeed.
I mean, he's been unbelievable, hasn't he? His pace that he's shown from last season. It's yes, really something. But no, just generally the same message at the end of every season. Just thank you to all the drivers. Like obviously we can't have a league without the drivers out there, and they're the ones that make this exciting and give us the great racing.
Indeed they do. Mike, same question to you.
Yeah, pretty much mirror what you guys have said. It's been a great season. We've had a bit of drop-offs, but that's because of people switching to LMU, which is understandable. Ben's had a cracking season, as has Klaas and Vitas as well, considering he comes straight up from Pro-Am straight into gold. Now he's pretty much platinum, let's be honest. So yeah, it's a great season. Cheers for all the drivers for racing, because without you guys, what we do is nothing, is it?
Can't believe it. I'm good to that, Tanner. Thanks to the drivers, but not us two in the box. It's crazy. What a crazy statement. No, it's been a cracking season. What a night tonight's Donington Park has been. What a season we've had. The weather we've had this season as well has played its part, and it's really made it an interesting season. Obviously, we'll now go away. Myself, Matt, and Mike and Langley will go away. We'll get season 11 sorted. You've already seen the calendar for both Le Mans Ultimate and for Pro and Pro-Am. Matt Wright's got the work to do now of sorting the categories out for who's promoted and who's demoted, bar the champions. We know where they're going. And we'll get the rules typed up for everything as well. So keep your eyes out on social media, Facebook, Instagram. And if you're in the Discord, make sure you are keeping your eyes peeled for the new rules, the new formats, and the sign-ups going out within the next couple of weeks, because we now have to rebuild. We now have to start all over again for a brand new championship, Le Mans Ultimate. We say goodbye to the Who Darren Cup for the time being. It will be back in the future, but we head over to Le Mans Ultimate for the first time on PC in around about June. So mark your calendars for that one. We'll take a 6-week break starting from next week roughly to get this one sorted. 7 races on the Le Mans Ultimate calendar, and obviously our normal 10-week calendar as you've seen for the GT3s. One last thing, I suppose. Tanner, driver of the day, gold and silver.
Uh, I'm gonna be really boring here and just gold and silver are the two champions that were P1 and P2, Class and Ben Rook. Ben Rook today was basically not to degrade his drive. His drive was amazing. It was literally the meme of Luigi did nothing and won. Literally what he had to do today was do nothing and be up there, and he won.
Yeah.
And Class was just dominant. Dominant. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he had the Grand Slam today for the feature race. Fastest lap pole, and
he did.
I'm gonna leave out the led all the laps because no one was literally after the 10-minute mark. No one was touching me.
Indeed.
Besides when Ben Rook realized he was using the wrong TC and ABS. Besides that.
I think Chris told us that one in the chat. I'm going to go the same way. I think driver of the season has to be Ben Rook for Platinum. I'm going to kind of give a joint driver of the season to both Class and Harris, because I think had Harris been here tonight, it would have been a different story. So I'm going to go Class and Harris for gold driver of the season as a joint thing. Drivers of the day, yeah, Ben and Class. They've done exactly what they needed to do. Class showed his quality in that second race. And what a season it's been. Mike, Matt, any final words?
I think I've just got a mirror, especially with Ben tonight. We was in the same chat, and it was probably the most calm and sensible we've heard him drive. He's like, I'm not going to push Vitas. I don't know why he's defending. I'm not going to dive. And it's like, well, that was a change from the other week, Ben, when you're like, come on, I'm going to send it. So, yeah, it was quite a calm head on Ben, which showed with him winning. It was a champion drive.
Anything from you, Matt?
I think we've said it all, haven't we? Really, just hopefully we see all the drivers again next season, and anyone that's firing up that PC, we will have the LMU League for them now as well.
Indeed. A big thank you once again to our partners, Design Manchester and Big Apple Logistics, for the pro season. Great to have them on board. A big thank you to what you can see on screen as well, all of the Patreons who have pledged their Patreon membership towards the championship and helping us grow as a community. But we look forward to season 11 on ACC and our first ever season on LMU as we get ready to go racing in about 6 to 8 weeks' time. From me, Mike, Matt, Tanner and the whole of the SimPlay team, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you.